Fuck it. We'll do it live. What's up, motherfucker? Let's see. All right. Let's see what this song is doing. Testing, testing. All right. What's going on? That's crazy. Fucking Eli finally figured out that fucking Sharon doesn't get over shit. I would have never figured that out. God damn, he's a fucking genius. Holy fuck. I can't fucking believe he figured that shit out. How the fuck did he do that? Eli, you did it again. You figured her out. You figured out she won't get over shit. You figured out she repeats herself. Holy shit! How the fuck did you figure that shit out, Eli? Holy fucking shit. I can't fucking believe it. What's up? Hey, what's up, Chrissy?
Hi, GT.
What's up, girl? You doing all right?
What's up? I'm doing good, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Can you believe Eli figured all that shit out?
You know what? He is a bright man, isn't he?
God damn, it only took him how many years? It's been 7 fucking years.
Jesus. Dude,
7
I'm telling you.
fucking
Come
years.
on.
And this fucking guy is just now figuring it the fuck out. Holy fuck.
But she's made that entire 3-hour stream strictly about herself. The
Exactly.
whole thing has been about her. The whole thing. And Sarah came in just talking to Eli, and I'll be the first one to say she started going at Sarah. Number one comment, she started going at her
Right.
and going at her and going at her. So yeah, Sarah piped off and said something to her, just
Right.
to, just to finally say, "Hey, shut the fuck up," maybe you shouldn't have a 15-year-old. And it went on, and then that was it. And then Eli yelled at her.
Right. I don't
Um,
understand.
hold
How
on
he
a minute.
didn't already know that.
I'm gonna drop out for 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Yes,
I'll be right
yes,
back.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, oh yeah. Sarah just gave him what we've already known for fucking years, Barbara. Like any idiot can come up and figure that out about Sharon. It takes you about 5 fucking seconds to realize that bitch don't get over shit. And she fucking is an asshole, and she fucking repeats herself, and she fucking obsesses, and she fucking acts like an asshole, and that's just who she is. I don't understand how he never fucking figured it out. I don't know. I don't know how he doesn't know. Eli, she's been doing it for fucking 7 years, bro. I mean, goddamn. And you act like this shit is just brand fucking new. Oh, hey, what's up,
Yeah,
guys? There you go.
exactly. I mean, the rest of the people, like, the drunk and don't know anything about Sharon. But what in the hell? You guys, I'm gonna have to drop out again. I'm sorry. I'll be back.
You're
I'm
okay,
getting
buddy.
another phone
You're
call.
okay, no problem. What's up, Susie?
Hello. Sorry, I
Yeah.
was trying to get the link out to people. I literally couldn't handle Eli anymore. I was losing my shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait for that motherfucker to get done. Although this was one of his better streams where we were like, and Sarah got and how Sharon actually behaves and actually gave him the insight into who fucking Sharon is. So,
He
and it was
knows that
a
already.
good. Well, he should. I don't understand why he acted like this was all brand new to him. Holy shit. This bitch just repeats herself over like that's what she did the last time you fucking hung out with this bitch. Like you
Right,
didn't realize that? God damn. How did you not know that?
right.
I don't understand.
He's an idiot. He's just hoping to get the views and the clicks and all that.
Mm.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out how I can chat on here. Hi, Miss Ka. I guess I could have just spoke it, but So, JT, if you want, I don't know if you can pull up those screenshots I sent you in Messenger. We can wait a couple minutes to see if
Sure.
Christine comes back. But those are the things I want to address. These are just the screenshots from the last 24 hours I've been sent. I don't even know how to get to that witch's channel, but she's inserting me in all this stuff when I haven't done anything. This week has been a bad week for me. I haven't been involved in nothing. I had nothing to do with the stream that Christina and Tammy were doing. She's going around saying I'm paying them to do it. Since when do people have to pay people to do streams? Maybe she's done that before so she could get on people's streams. I don't freaking know. But why would I have to pay anyone to do a stream for me? If I want to do a stream, I'll do it my damn self.
Right.
Hi, Patty. So, but there's some crazy things in some of those posts. Well, and now she's saying T is a double agent. She was saying Sandra's a double agent the other day.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like Sandra sent an email to somebody asking how I was doing, saying that I've been on her mind and that she's been praying about me and that, she could have my email address to reach out to me. And the person was like, she has good days, she has bad days, yada, yada, yada. I'll ask her if I can give you your email. And I was like, yeah, you can give her my email address. And, that was that. And then Sharon gets her panties in a fucking wad about it. It's
Oh,
like,
that's
why
Chrissy.
do you, huh?
Fuck. I forgot Chrissy was back there. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I was over
Oh
here
no,
trying to get
that's
this
okay,
stuff
you
up.
guys. I'm sorry. I was supposed to have an air conditioning unit dropped off, but then I got an email saying that it was going to be dropped off tomorrow. So, but I'm going to mute because Susie's talking. So I won't be
oh no,
just
it's
I
okay.
won't be leaving again. Okay, I'm muting.
No,
Well,
no, no.
JT's going to be reading some of the posts
Oh, well,
that
so
I
it's
sent him.
all right.
Did you
Excuse me.
start as far as you could go back?
Yeah, I went back as far as I
Okay,
could go. I was
okay.
sent this, and I blocked out her face. And last time because she's a minor, but Jordan is an adult. I am not harassing anyone, especially my daughter. I'm not making threats to physically harm her. I'm not allowed to have direct contact with her until she's 18. No communication, etc. Making this screenshot public because I'm documenting what's going on and want my supporters to understand what's going on. I raised her for 15 and a half years because of my situation, my illness, her school. I made a very hard choice and I did what was best for her. When the second court case happened to make the adoption legal, I was told by a court official to remember what the judge said from the first court processing by phone, which again, no relationship with her until 18, no communication directly until 18, was told she can't be around me. At my home, my employment, if we see each other in public, we can't communicate. It's a violation. She has already texted my phone. I did not respond back. I cannot give her a birthday card. I can't call her. I cannot communicate with her directly. So this is basically a setup so I'll get in trouble. I didn't harass her dad, and I'm not a deadbeat. I did what I had to do for her best interest, and since the day I signed papers, I was the one attacked. Again, I'm already texted my phone. I did not respond back. I cannot give her a birth. Okay, that's the same shit.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
since the day she signed over rights, she's been harassed. Sharon, that's complete bullshit. We did the one stream in response to what your daughters put out there of the abuse that you put them through. One stream. And, maybe it was mentioned in one or two other streams, but that was stuff your former children wrote. Whether your child is 18 or not and wants to start having a relationship with you, that's between you and her. but you're acting like, oh, I gave up my rights because of my medical issues, and it was the hardest thing to do. Do we really need to queue up all the screenshots of the vile, evil things you said about your daughters during that time, and how
Dude,
you were,
hours after court, she was posting shitty shit about her kids.
yeah,
Hours.
vile, disgusting things, and then also posting how she's out living her best life and her kids are nothing but liars and pieces of shit, and da da da. She's not going to put up with their lies and yada yada yada.
Threatened to
Now,
sue him, threatened to come after him, threatened to call the cops, threatened to call the school on the younger one. Sharon said some shit things about those girls.
yep,
Mhm. I
yep.
got a, I got a question. Exactly why would she not be allowed to contact them and all that shit? Well, that's so fucking weird.
Well, because she signed over her rights. She has no rights to the minor anymore,
But
and the oldest
but
one wants nothing to do with her.
yeah, but if you're a stranger, you're working or whatever, and comes up to buy some clothes, you talk to them and say, oh, okay, this is the type of clothes your product. Like,
You're
you,
roboting for me.
you like say to that person, hey, do you want this kind of whatever? I mean, so why couldn't she speak to her daughter if she saw her in public? I don't understand that.
Because she has no rights to her, and the daughter doesn't want to have anything to do with
I
her.
don't I don't have rights to a fucking stranger, but I can still talk to a stranger. Does
Well,
that make
right.
sense?
I
Was it?
mean, she could try. I don't
There's,
know.
you know what? But there's remember because you see, I missed Susie's live that she did with Damien. I missed that. I was working, and me and Susie had done a live like last week, and I told Susie once we ended that stream came up in my news feed, and I'm like, did I ever watch this? And
Right.
so I started watching it. I'd never seen it, and so I do it. And there was a bunch of screenshots. He shows. Oh my god, I'm not getting that. I'm so tired of my phone ringing off the hook. Somebody's calling me. They can wait. And and she's talking to Damien about the kid had just had a birthday and she wanted to like get
Right.
a cake or get a card, and she's saying, well, she's calling her on like one of the, she's not calling her on her regular phone. She has to call through like Snapchat. Speak with me. And Damien's like, well, because she's mad at you. She doesn't want to talk to you. She's got a lot of stuff she's got to get through with being in your custody, and she's mad at you right now when she doesn't want to talk. Do you remember that part, Susie?
Yeah,
Okay, so there you go.
yeah.
The kid just
Yeah.
doesn't want to talk to her.
Yeah, and I get that. I think that is true, but I think that just because you gave up your rights, that part is not what caused the situation where you can't even call your child. I think that there's extra stuff that he's
But
showing,
it's
like,
no longer
hey,
her
look,
child. She's been legally
she's
adopted.
harassing me. Well, no, I mean, look, it'll always be her child. Let's, go ahead and be real here. You know,
Biologically, yes, but not
well, I mean,
legally.
well, it will, always be her child. If Damien died tomorrow, and or something happened to both of them, who would they go to try to step in and take care of the child? It would definitely be her at some point, right?
Whoever has Damien has set up.
Mm. Mm, I guess, but let's say something happened to his wife or whatever. I mean, at some point, it would come to Sharon, I would imagine. So Sharon is not uh, gonna often send a birthday card or nothing, or say, "Hey, look, I love you," or whatever, or make a phone call to what is biologically her own child.
Yeah, I mean, none of that really. Who knows? But yeah, regardless, the kid doesn't want to have anything to do with her. The kid has claimed abuse charges on her. So,
Oh, whoops! I got somebody backstage. Hold on, I just realized it. There you are, Tammy. I
Hi,
didn't realize you were
love.
back there. Yeah, I had to scroll down to see anybody else. I was like, what the fuck?
It's okay. I'm patient. But
Yes.
I wanted to really quick say that a judge, just because you sign off your rights, does not say you can never contact her. That's not how family court works. It's never worked like that. It will never work like that. Her
I didn't
rights
think
would
so.
have had to have been taken from her, or an RO, or whatever it was that happened. In order, just like a school is not going to sit down with you to make a decision about whether or not you should give up your kid. That's not what schools do. It's not their role.
Right.
They're
Yeah, I think there's
mandated
something
report.
odd about this whole thing. There's something there that he didn't explain it to
Yeah.
us, so that we knew, but exactly what happened.
It's just Sharon lying. It's just Sharon making up stories again. That's all it is. It's just Sharon trying to make up stories.
They don't even when my daughter's birth mother lost her rights, a judge never told her that she couldn't reach out to Beth. She was a she judge. She said that would be up to me if I allowed it. But the only reason she would have had a judge tell her that she cannot contact that child is because of abuse. That's it.
Something's there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The idea that you're going to get in trouble over it. If you were to talk to this child that isn't necessarily a stranger. Let's see. How the fuck do I give out fucking wrenches? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, okay.
I think it's better if Damien and his wife keep that child away from her. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Tammy did find that Damien was trying to get an RO on her last year. He dropped it, I guess, but he was trying to get an RO on Sharon, and 100% it was because she was harassing the shit out of Damien.
I think that's part of what caused that, is that she harassed the shit out of him.
Yep.
And he provided evidence of that, and they said, hey, you so much as fucking whatever, don't talk to you, and they made it clear to her not to fucking talk to this child because of that.
I would say that was exactly correct.
Yeah.
But we just have to be careful, with what we put out there.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's go to the next screenshot and see what's there.
All right, I'm going to pop down because I'm going to eat dinner in a minute. So,
okay.
I'll be in chat, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, Alice says, Sharon, I'll be having a better birthday if you stop harassing my dad to tell me you love me and wish me a happy birthday. If you did, the least you could do is send a card, you did me. Feeling smart for the description is what Jordan Davis says.
Yeah, so Alice's birthday was just a couple days ago, and I guess that post that was sent to me, I don't know, it looks like it's from Facebook or whatever, so I just thought that was interesting.
But so saying it's a trap. If I so much as fucking say one word to her, I'm fucking in trouble. That's just odd. I mean, I don't know, but whatever.
We can move on to the next one. Hey, Gloria.
And it gets on my nerves too, and that tends to be like some people out here, their go-to move. Like whenever you say, she's saying, you haven't even so much as told me you love me. You haven't said happy birthday to me. You the least you could do is send me a birthday card. You're saying that's not what she's upset about. She's upset about something else. And instead of like taking her at her word at what she's saying she's upset about. And I don't understand that. I don't understand people that do that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
You have been busted, Chica. Period. So lie publicly because I've publicly showed your plans. I never made any threats to hurt my kids. Said if criminal allegations happen, on your stream or slander, etc., I will absolutely do what I need to with the law. Sarah, you can go F off. You definitely need to leave me alone, miss. Oh, I'm not involved. I got a man. Bullshit. You are always doing shit behind the scenes. You don't even try. So don't even try.
You know, another one. She thinks that YouTube streams, you speak facts or whatever else are illegal, and she's going to call the police on it. Hasn't she tried to do that? How many times has she lied? And even going back from the very beginning, I filed 15 reports on 15 different people today because of the YouTube streams. And then we called the police department. Do we have
Nothing.
police reports on us? And they're like, no, that bitch is crazy. And we have all
She,
that on recording of her own
yeah,
police department saying
and she
she's
just,
fucking nuts.
yeah, and she just said it when Eli did their interview. She said that she filed charges on a whole bunch of people, but we all couldn't get served. And
Oh,
she filed a charge on her brother, but all of us couldn't
well,
get served, so they just let it go. It's like, shut up.
right. I have cameras all outside my house, Ring doorbell, like 5 cameras that face my driveway, the street. No one's come to serve me. You guys know me. I open the door wide open when people come to serve me. And I say, thank you. All right, let's go to the next.
Let's see. Nope, it's not a threat to hurt her, but I will do whatever I need legally. Uh, Sharon, you. What is it? Let me see. Making Eli threats to your daughter. That's right out of Eli. Oh, I guess somebody said some shit about she was making blackmail threats at her daughter.
Yeah. GT, you're really, really breaking up. Is there any way that you could leave and come back in?
I can
It's
try it.
your okay? Yeah, because you're breaking up bad.
Yeah, or I can try to read the screenshots.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta find out where they were sent again and where we're at. Oh, yeah. What is the beginning of that screenshot?
I don't know. I can't. I couldn't even hear him.
Is that a little better?
Keep talking.
I don't know. You tell me
Uh-huh.
what's going on.
That's a little bit better. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Okay, now try to read it, and I'll try to find where you're at. Okay, you're roboting. Let me just read. Let me read. Let me read this one because then I know which ones. Okay. Attention to Tammy, Susie, Jordan, and Greg. I want to make this very clear. I received info that Tammy and Susie have been emailing Jordan and that they are going to make Jordan say that I had her call the cops on some man that had a gun and that Eli and Sarah put me up to it. I have no idea what's even about. I have never had my kids call the police and lie to them or any important official, etc. I would love to know and show proof of where you heard that Tammy and I are emailing Jordan, Sharon. I don't even know Jordan's email address, you dumb fucking redneck hillbilly bitch. And it sounds like what you're referring to is the call that you guys did against Robert Jensen. Jordan nor myself were a part of that SWAT call in Florida. Anyways, the plan is to get Jordan to lie on me, to my brother, and Jordan, you make a choice, you will have a consequence. And I haven't talked to your brother since 2018. Another dumb fuck thing. So you are absolutely delusional. And the best thing you could have done for yourself while you were homeless or in transition, as you want to talk about it, or that you could do now, Sharon, is check yourself inpatient and get some mental help because you need it. CPS has told you that. The police have told you that. Everybody on the internet has told you that. Not everybody can be wrong. If anything is said that is slanderous, criminal, false allegations, etc., I will press charges.
It's
You
not
can't,
criminal.
yeah, you
It's
can't
not
press
fucking
charges.
criminal.
Right.
God,
He's an
her and
idiot.
Eli, where do they get this goddamn? Don't people know basic laws? It's not fucking criminal, you fucking bitch.
Right.
It's civil.
Right.
Exactly. And it has to be proved false, and you have to prove damages. And, you know, you got to hire a team like Johnny Depp to prove
Dude, I was,
defamation. And
you know, if anybody learned anything watching the Johnny Depp trial, please. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I get so fired up. I'm muting.
no, you're fine. I'm trying to light a cigarette. You guys want to play games and won't leave me alone? Okay, I can play games too, but I'll do it the right way. Make sure your hands are clean before doing this. Um, Sharon, nobody wanted to play games with you. No one had said shit about you for over 9 months. Okay. And then I go live before I even knew you were doing an interview with fucking Eli. I go live to address Eli twice. And then you're in the chat making it all about you, making your remarks, making your lies up, making comments about my health and what I should and should not be doing, yada, 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 yada. And, you know, it went from there. So, and then even after you did the stupid interview with Eli, nobody cared
Missing
about it,
Christie.
Sharon. Literally, there was nothing new in it. It was all old stuff. I didn't even listen to the whole thing. I don't think many people did. And so you're the one that wants to come up, kick rocks, make dust, and insert yourself in things that have nothing to do with you, kick up things from 2018 and so on. And then when, you know, you're in Eli's chat running your mouth about Tammy, about me, Christina, you know, making nasty fucking comments. And then as soon as someone says something to you, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm being attacked. Yada, yada, yada. It's ridiculous. So then you go on to say in this post, Susie, I don't contact your kids or your husband. I have so much stuff I could show publicly, but I don't because I'm not you. I thought you had everything on a website, Sharon. And you have gone after my kids many, many times. You exposed my daughter's sexuality multiple times on the internet. And you don't have anything on my kids and husband, Sharon, because I don't get on here and talk about my kids and husband.
And
Everything,
she has talked about George many times. She has said some
well,
so horrible shit about George too.
yeah, lies and like racist stuff. Yeah. But I'm saying like she gets on here and tells her personal life and her kids, and I don't even want to repeat the stuff that she said about her kids, because I doubt it's even true also. But you know, anything we know about her is pretty much because she's said it and she's put it out there, you know, or she's, you know, said it in comments or, you know, told people behind the scenes this, that, and the other. And it's people that, like Eli said today multiple times, that have tried to help this crazy, insane bitch. And then, you know, all she does is shit on them. In what, 7, 8 years, Sharon, you have not been able to keep one person as a supporter. Not one person. Not a one. From what I hear, Susie is paying them to do this. You're just proving my point. Oh, who told you that, Sharon? Is that evidence on this mysterious website too that you claim you have? Because again, why would I have to pay anybody to do a stream about you? Whatever activity, criminal activity. Mark my words. I am not playing games. I will do whatever I need to. Jordan, you have a job, kid, and school. Are you willing to risk that for people on YouTube that discuss your assault, etc.? Are you willing to risk things for court proceedings? So what, if she came on YouTube and spoke about things that you put her through, that somehow is going to affect her job and her kid and her school? Again, Sharon, that's not how YouTube works. But again, you're accusing Jordan, I'm not even going to say your daughter, you're accusing Jordan of doing something that you don't even know. Like, what makes you think Jordan's coming on any fucking stream? I've always loved you, Jordan, but not your lies and deceit. You better think before you do this live Wednesday, because I am not playing games. So again, what are you threatening her? Who'd she learn it from? You put her on a stream when she was a minor, you dumb fuck. When she was
Oh,
14.
13 or
Oh,
14
shit.
with Shangy. With
Yeah.
Shangy and 3 other men.
How
And
And
who
old
her
does
is she
that?
brother.
now? 21, 22. I don't even know how old she is. And now you're going to threaten her when you put her on streams when she was a minor? You sick fuck. I am not going to be bullied or pushed around. Oh, poor Sharon, always the victim, right?
She's got
Always.
Eli to white knight for her. Eli's white knighting for Sharon.
All Eli's been doing is yelling at her. Even days ago, he was telling her she's obsessed with us and all she does is talk about us and that she needs to ignore us. Never mind everything he said today. All right, let me see what these other ones say. I don't know who this was to. You have been busted, Chica, period. So lie publicly because I publicly showed your plans. I never made any threats to hurt my kids. No, you actually did hurt your kids. You're right. You didn't make threats. You actually hurt them. I said
Yep.
if criminal allegations happen on your stream. Oh, I guess this is towards Tammy and Christina, or slander, etc. I will absolutely do what I need to with the law. Again, that's not how the law works, dummy. Sarah, you can go F off. You definitely need to leave me alone, miss. Oh, I'm not involved. I got a man. Oh, you read this one. BS.
Mm-hmm.
You're always doing shit behind the scenes, so don't even try. Nope, it's not a threat or a threat to hurt her, but I will do whatever I need to legally. So keep lying. So
So you're
this
gonna
was,
sue your own daughter? Is that what that means? Or
yeah, oh yeah. It's not the first time she's sued them. She was responding to someone saying, Sharon, are you really making threats to your daughter? That is a play right out of Eli's playbook, which, in case you are unaware, never works. It's called blackmail. That phone combo between you, Skippy, and Chucky's bride must have been so productive. Let me help you. Some of the very things he is advising you to do is why he is being investigated now. Threats and blackmail. Are you willing to risk your freedom over blackmail and threats like this? I have nothing to do with your daughter, either of them. I do hope Jordan sees this, though. She needs to turn it into the police now. Keep taking Skippy's advice, Sharon. You too will soon see it's not very good advice. Maybe Tammy wrote that. And then Sharon wrote, nope, not a threat or a threat to hurt her, but I will do whatever I need to do legally, so keep lying. Um, so, hmm. Last thing I'll say about this upcoming stream on Wednesday. If my daughter is that dumb to be on a panel with the same people that exposed her essay, called her school to spy, call her man a pedo, was digging around his Facebook page and showing pics, calling Jordan a slut, DYKE. I'm not going to say that
You
slanderous
know
word.
what? I want proof to all of that. And no one ever
Mhm.
called those fucking kids a school, okay?
Nope.
Me
Nobody
either.
ever called that school.
No one did. And the reason why we were calling the guy a pedo is because she instantly was living with him days after her 18th birthday. So then, therefore, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say that they had contact. And Sharon's even come forward and has said that was one of the reasons that she kicked Jordan out, because of witchcraft and because of this older guy. So, now it fits her. I guess people have amnesia. Lying gets you nowhere. Everything you put out in this world, you will get back. No pagan or witchcraft is going to save you from the judgment of God. If you put your faith in man and think they will save you from eternal damnation, then that's your choice. But again, every choice has a consequence. So people can't practice what they want to practice unless it's what you want. What you were raised, was it your grandpa or your father that was a pastor, whichever one, and your grandpa supposedly abused you for years. And that's another thing I want to address real quick. I don't know if it's any of these screenshots, Sharon, but you say, oh, I didn't abuse my kids. If I would have abused my kids, they would have gone to the teachers at school. They would have gone to the police. They would have gone to the social workers. They would have told
They did.
somebody. Huh?
We all did. We did. We all did all that. We went to everybody we could about
Well,
the
we
way she
did,
was
but
behaving.
she's saying her girls would have. When you're
Right.
a victim of CSA and you still have to live with that victim, whether you have to live with that victim or not, people you don't speak about their abuse immediately. One person
Was
knew about my abuse up until 7 years ago. One person knew about the abuse that I went through. Why my sister was dying.
well, I got a
Uh,
question like Tammy saying that she's worried about that fucking uh show tomorrow or her live tomorrow. And something I noticed is that like they talk about or she's talking about like worried about what Jordan's gonna say if Jordan's there and shit like that, that Jordan's gonna tell on her or something. I mean, that ought to tell you everything that you need to know. Like she basically told off on herself that really happened, that phone call to SWAT the doctor actually happened, and that people have a tendency to tell off on themselves. Like, and even whenever somebody else says something, truthful, for example, like the other person with what they say, admits can admit to it accidentally. Like whenever you say some shit, like if I said, Susie's tits are the size of a human head, like Susie will say something else that'll be like, they are not. They're just they're a little large, sure, but But I mean, she kind of admits it, right? So I
right.
mean, you end up with the truth,
Yeah.
and the person tells off on themselves and shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I noticed Sharon doing. Sharon's doing that. Like if you let Sharon talk long enough, she ends up telling on herself. You
Oh,
know?
yeah. I've said that for a while. She exposes herself better than anybody else can, just like Feldman.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
here's another one. No matter what Satan and his demons do to me, my ex, my own daughters, and other demonized people, I will rise evil will not prevail. God has my back and always will. God will always conquer over evil. Every choice you make has a consequence. You're free to make that choice, but you can't run from the consequences from your actions. All I did was have an interview and told the truth, told my side, discussed my medical issues, etc. And I'm being attacked. It's funny that you did, as soon as I came out about my MS, which was months after I was diagnosed, Sharon, then all of a sudden you were dying. You had this disease, but you couldn't remember the name. You had this disease, but you couldn't say the name. You had this, but you couldn't remember the name. Now you say that, you're one, it was a brain tumor. And then the judge asked you what kind of tumor, and you couldn't even answer that. And
It's
now it's
not a
heart.
tumor.
Yeah. And now you have some heart issue that, if you yawn the wrong way, you cry, you scream, you hike, you swim, you do too much, you could instantly die. But then in the next post, you're sitting there saying how you hike and swim and do this and do that. Like, Sharon, shut the fuck up. You've said that you are dying like 55 times since we've known you. Okay. No one believes it. And don't sit there and say what I should be doing with my life and because I have MS and with my channel because I'm actually sick. Because again, you don't know what I do on other social media platforms. I left YouTube for reasons. Again, I don't expect Barb, Dylan, Gloria, everybody else that's in this chat right now, JT, Christina, to come join and listen to me talk about having MS once a week, every other day, whatever it is. No, I'm going to go to MS support groups where there's other people that have MS. I'm going to go on Reddit where there's people that have MS that know exactly, the things that you go through when you have MS. I'm not going to sit here and explain. I'll give updates. I'll answer questions if people have questions. Absolutely. I've done that since the beginning. But what are you doing, Sharon? You claim you have these other two channels that are so successful. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So yesterday Eli was live and he was all upset because he only had about 20 people in his chat and there were a few restreams going on, whatever. So Sharon starts instantly blaming you because that's all she talks about when she's in his chat is you, and you. And he's like, well, Sharon, where's she at? And then he'd leave and he'd come back. And she's like, well, she's on TikTok. Well, go find her. Go find her channel. Go look for it. And Sharon's like, well, I don't know where it's at, but I know she's on TikTok a lot. So, but everything. So he could be talking about fucking potato salad. And she is in the chat completely talking about herself. Just everything. And I'm telling you right now, if Sarah ever sees this or whatever, Sarah didn't do a goddamn thing to her in that chat. She came in addressing Eli. Sharon came at her, comment one, Sharon came at her and picked until Sarah came out and said, hey, Sharon, at least I didn't have sex with a 15-year-old kid.
No
Yeah.
shit.
And that's all it took.
And
then
then, of
Sarah,
course,
and then she banned her. Then she tried to say, "Oh, I was trying to block her so I couldn't see her comment." When you're modded, you still see people even if they're blocked, and everybody knows that. And it's been like that for years. She blocked her, and that's what got her cussed out.
Right.
yeah. And then Sharon, then you claim, oh, well, I was R-word, and that's why. Well, Sharon,
No,
did you go to the police? Did you
nope.
report that? Did you go tell any authorities? Did you go to a social worker? Is there a police report about that? Oh, no, there's not. So it must have never happened, Sharon.
Right? Yeah, that's a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going by your logic, Sharon, it must have
Yeah.
never happened.
Oh, but you want to know what Sharon said back to Sarah?
Or,
She brought up how Sarah, about having a procedure when you're pregnant. I'm not going to say the word, but we all know what I'm saying. Sharon came back at her with that.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. Nasty. Nasty bitch.
And if you were the one that was R word, why did you leave the state, Sharon?
Mhm.
You left. And then
Well,
with your second
She
child, you lied
hightailed it
about who
to,
the
yep.
father was then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, every
Oh, and it's
choice you
always
make.
doctor's fault. And it's always the doctor's fault. When she
Oh,
got pregnant
yeah.
with that second kid, it was the doctor's fault. And she really thought it was Eric's, but it was really Damien's, but with the math and it was Eric. So when she found out it wasn't, that was just a big surprise to her. And all the doctors were wrong. And she saw 7 doctors and they all said it was Eric's. See,
Yeah.
dude?
And she had witnesses.
exactly.
Witnesses. Every choice you make has a consequence. You're free to make that choice, but you can't run from the consequences from your actions. Neither can you, bitch. All I did was have an interview and told the truth, told my side, discussed my medical issues, etc., and I'm being attacked. Nobody believes you about your medical issues, Sharon. Point blank. You have a right to talk about it all you want. And you did that to try to get sympathy. You literally admitted that in a comment. Well, nobody cared about my grief and my health issues. Da, 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 da. Why would anybody? None of us believe a word that comes out of your mouth. You've been saying you've been dying for 7 years.
I'd like to know if there's a statute of limitation on if you have sex with a child and there is a baby produced from that child. I mean, I wonder if she can still be prosecuted for that.
She
Because that
can.
is,
There's no more statutes of limitations in Florida. She
oh,
could.
good. Well,
Yeah.
they need to lock her at. She deserves to get locked the
Yeah.
fuck up for that. That is disgusting on her part.
You do evil, it will come back to you. I don't need an army to stand up against demonetized people. I say what I have to say, period. I'm stronger than I was in 2018. And no matter how many times you want to knock me down, I'll just get back up again. You proved today and many other days you're not even remotely closely stronger than you were in 2018, girl.
She's still the
Um,
same. She's still the same trash. And by the
if
way,
not worse.
people that get convicted of that in Florida now get a life sentence. Florida don't play. I wish every state was like Florida. They're the first state that, yeah, if you get convicted of that, yep, you're going to prison for life. Because that's what Stephen Stearns, his first trial, is all the C sound they found on his phone was Maddie, and then 35,000 pictures of other children that he hadn't done. It was just these pedos get behind the scenes. They share pictures with all the C sound that was found on his phone and him molesting Maddie since she was like 5 or 6. He will get a death. He'll get life for this. And then the second trial is the murder trial because he killed her. Okay, done.
Yeah. Okay. I will add one more thing about the situation with my kids. I don't watch them on TikTok. I was, however, sent some screenshots of what they both did. Jordan making claims she did not have parents to teach her how to do things is a complete lie. Her dad was in and out of jail for years. I was always there. I'm the one that taught them how to cook. People lie, kids lie. You lie, Sharon. I know the truth, and no matter what they say or clowns on YouTube, I will always know the truth, and so does God. You can't teach someone how to cook when you don't know how to cook yourself. Okay, then she shares a link to some video. I don't know what it was. I wanted to share this video and publicly thank Eli and, of course, Dawn for supporting me. Yeah, they support you so well. They're so
Mhm.
fucking annoyed with you. It was
Dude,
hilarious.
oh my God, Tia and the drunk were both telling her to just shut up. Just stop
Yeah,
making it
dude,
about you and just shut up.
Tia blocked her for 8,600 minutes, dude. Um, this was the truth, period. None of you clowns know what I did for Jordan and Neil. You have no idea, and I never publicly said anything because it's not your business. Yes, you did. When she was pregnant, she came to me. I didn't run to her. I didn't. You think that's something to brag about? That your daughter was pregnant and that you didn't go to her? That she had to come to you? You're bragging about that? You fucked up, twisted, hillbilly, inbred fuck. Weasel my way back in. That's a lie. The day she was going to the hospital to have my grandson, she texted me because they were in a hurry, obviously. I was on a Facebook call with Percy because we were making peace. While we were making peace, my grandson was born. So it was more important for you to stay on the phone with Percy to make peace than go to the hospital and be there for your daughter and sit in the waiting room if she didn't want your ass in the room and wait for your grandson to be born. And you think that's something to brag about? Let's go on. Before his birth, I did help with the shower, bought items for the baby. After he was born in the summer, they were going to see her dad in Florida, asked me to watch their dog and apartment. I helped them both with a lot. When they had no food, I walked to the store and bought them food. I even gave her the last of my food in my house until I got paid. I washed their clothes for months. So you want credit for being a good person and doing what normal grandparents and loved ones do
And you know
for
what?
each other?
YouTube was so important to her that she had to sit on the phone and repair some broken friendship with Percy instead of going to the hospital and waiting for her grandson to be born. I would
Yeah,
walk. I If I didn't have a ride or didn't have my own vehicle, I would have walked to the hospital if one of my
exactly.
kids was having a baby. But she stayed at home talking on the phone to Percy instead of going to the hospital and watching that kid. Uber. Uber a ride. Get a neighbor to take you to the. Hey, my kid's in labor. Can you take me to the
Get
hospital?
the maintenance man.
Yeah, there you go. The maintenance man she was banging.
Yeah. I washed her clothes for months. I always gave Jordan gas money if I needed a ride. The day I was moving, I gave her my reclining sofa couch instead of selling it for $500, which I had three offers. That ugly ass red sofa that you had for how long? Yeah, I'm so sure you were given so many offers for $500 for that, Sharon. And you should give it to your fucking daughter. Like, again, you want credit for helping out your daughter.
She wants credit for what all parents do. This is
Right,
stuff that we all have done and we've all done for years, and we all know none of this is true, but this is stuff parents do, no questions asked, and we don't get online and name every little thing we've done for our kids since they were born. We don't do that. But see,
right,
Sharon's out here doing it and making it up because 99% of this is bullshit.
right. So I gave it to her instead because they didn't have anything but dirty old stuff and she was complaining and not happy. I did that for her and my grandson. I could have sold it and had the money for my move, but no, I didn't. I gave it to her. Besides food all the time, washing their clothes for months, spending time with her and my grandson, helped clean her apartment when she needed it. I even helped her with getting food stamps when they needed it. Oh, I'm sure, because you're a pro at that, right? I was the one to confirm the situation. I had always encouraged her to go to college, art school, etc. Yeah, did you save money for her to do that, Sharon? Yeah?
Oh, hey, remember that her father had sent her a bunch of back child support and she took it and spent it on a lawyer, two lawyers to go after you. She could have
Yeah.
saved that 7K, put it in a trust fund for when Jordan turned 18 and said, here you go. Hey, my dad did that for me twice. I was in a car accident and I got a settlement. He threw it in an IRA or something. And then another settlement I got, he threw both of those. And when I turned 18, he gave me one. And then the other one, he gave me when I turned 21 and I moved out. He gave me that one. And then I got a car with that one. But you know what? Nope, nope, nope. She spent it to Sue Susie, you guys. That's what she spent 7K on.
Yep. And she lost her ass off. I had always encouraged her to go to college, art school, etc. I'm not this horrible deadbeat mom that they all want to portray, or these disgusting people online. I was by her side when the assault happened, went to court with her. I was there for her in every way. That day of court, Susie and her flying monkeys was talking to the. Hold on, I gotta find out where I left off. Hold on. Susie and her flying monkeys were talking to the abuser's parents. They were trying to torment my daughter, call me a liar. Please show proof of me ever speaking with those people, Sharon. Since you're saying that I had a conversation with those people, please show the proof of that. I would love to see that because I've never had a conversation with those people. Calling her a liar, harassing me, etc. They were digging through Neil's Facebook and they called him a pedo, but I guess my daughter has amnesia and forgets what they did and what I have done for her. Oh, let's not forget when she had cancer and could have died, but that's okay. Call me a bad mom because we weren't
Oh
ready.
my God.
You want
Oh my
credit for taking
God.
care of your child that had
Oh,
cancer?
that right there
She's
is
a
the most
stupid bitch.
disgusting thing in the whole feed you're reading. That right there is the most disgusting thing
Uh-huh.
I've ever heard a parent say. That is disgusting, you guys.
And that's why I wanted to go over these because she deletes the shit. Alice, my youngest, that I named Caitlin from birth. I raised her for 15 and a half years by myself. I did not lie to my ex-husband, didn't use him for money, etc. Yes, the fuck you did. I've explained the situation about what happened. From the time I gave birth almost 16 years ago, I was there for her. Yes, we had hard times. Yes, it was hard. And I did yell, I did scream, but not 24/7 like they say. There's not one parent on this earth that is perfect and never struggled. I never neglected her or Jordan. Well, not according to them, not according to CPS, not according to shit we all saw online. I was working and my daughter was safe at home. When were you working, Sharon? I thought we cost all your jobs and you couldn't work and da 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 da.
No shit.
Uh, so I'm getting shit for doing what I should be doing. Ridiculous. I never left my kids in their room for hours. Yes, you did. Lies. I never beat them. I never starved them. I was always cooking, and Percy saw a lot of that on video. You keep wanting to bring Percy back into this. And when you were friends with Percy the first time and Percy stopped being friends with you, she's the one who said you locked your kids in a room, that you wouldn't allow them to eat and go in the kitchen. And if those were all lies, why would you become friends with someone like that again? If
No
someone
shit.
said that about that I was doing that to my kids, I wouldn't turn around and a year or two later be friends with them again.
No
But
shit.
anyways, I never sexually hurt them. Butthole waxing, a lie. When she was sick, illness in her. Hold on, now I gotta see. Hold on. When she was sick, illness in her legs, and fall down 30 stairs at school, she got a CFF, and she could have broken her back, neck. It was bad. She had to wear a brace for the entire summer, going to the dentist, doctors. I did that. I did not make her sick. I did not put drugs in her food or sleepy meds in her food. She had mild scoliosis, and I did not give that to her. I helped her through everything because, again, I'm not a rich mom, and they did not grow up rich like a Kardashian does. Not mean hold on. Did not grow up rich like a Kardashian does not mean I'm a bad mom. I became sick, had what
Oh my
my
God.
mom died from. I made a very, very hard choice and I did what was right. And from that day, I signed papers voluntarily. I had been tormented, harassed, etc. Nobody will ever know what it feels like unless you are faced with that choice. I did tell her dad more than once in this past year I love her. I want the best for her.
Oh no,
Uh,
we have a phone call. We have them talking.
oh,
And
I know.
Damien's trying to explain to her why the child is so mad, and all Sharon can do is bring it back to herself.
Right.
That's all she does. It's
Yeah,
you can't reason with a narcissist. You can't make them see what they're doing is bad. It's the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. Like she never saw
yeah,
what was wrong with her. She couldn't see it. And Sharon, that is Sharon. That is Sharon to a T.
Yeah.
yeah. I want the best for her, etc. Her head has been filled with shit. She made a choice to believe others. That's on her. Nobody could have put what your daughter said into her head, Sharon. Nobody. It was so detailed and out of this world and everything else. That is something that clearly happened to your daughter. No one put that in her fucking head. The
No
only
shit.
person that's innocent is my grandson in all this. And because I did what's right for Alice, Jordan has purposely kept me from him after everything I've done for her. I don't know why Jordan has exactly kept her grandson from you, but I'm sure it's due to the abuse you put Jordan through and her sister through. And she doesn't want you anywhere near her
She doesn't
grandson.
want his ass hairs pulled. Damn
Right.
it, Sharon. Don't you get it? People don't like their ass hairs pulled.
Um,
Crazy whore.
my grandson and all this. And because I did what's right for Alice, Jordan has purposely kept me from him and everything I have done for her. Again, I didn't kick her out. I gave her a choice. She made it. I never had my kids lie to the police, family members, CPS, etc. Again, more lies. Yeah, okay, Sharon. You involved your kids in so many different ways throughout the years by putting them on streams, by having Jordan sing songs about JB's dick, say shit about me, talk shit about me, get on the phone with Fire and Percy to talk shit about me, Christina, everybody else. Like you, 100 and a million% inserted your kids in all this. My daughter's made
Didn't
Sorry, guys.
Jordan didn't you need to get something to drink? Didn't Jordan say that Jordan said a few times that Sharon would call her at work with YouTube drama when she
Hmm.
was working at
Oh
Taco
yeah,
Bell. Yep,
yeah.
many times bothered her to work about YouTube. And I'm sorry, but Alice made a few posts about the way Sharon acted online. And she said, I've got a mother that locks herself in her bedroom and makes a fool out of herself online for days, hours on end, and doesn't stop.
Exactly.
Yep. And then she
Well,
proceeds to say, my daughters made a choice for attention and money to lie on me on social media. They made a choice to lie about you for attention. Sorry, no, my daughters made a choice for attention and money to lie on me on social media. So you think that your daughter made those posts for attention and for money?
They never made any money. I think you did one stream where one lady donated some money to the both of them. That's all those kids have ever made.
Yeah.
That's it. Those kids
well,
aren't out here making money on YouTube about lying about Sharon to make money. They don't
Yeah,
give a
she
fuck.
claims that I did the streams I did for money. I never kept a penny of anything. And where it went is none of fucking Sharon's business. But certainly nobody was expecting it. Nobody fucking asked me for it. Nobody, nothing. It was something I did on my own. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
well,
So,
Jordan uh, basically felt guilt about leaving Alice behind. And
Yes,
I
he
right.
found that to be
did.
an
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
fucking comment because you don't think it's a fucking coincidence that once fucking Jordan moved out, suddenly, Alice has this issue.
And
Yeah.
not going
Because
to
I had
school.
always said that the one
Mm.
being responsible in that household was always Jordan.
Yep.
Mhm. You
And
did.
when Jordan was leaving, Jordan knew that household was going to fall apart, that was
Yep.
going to be that. She didn't know what was going to happen to Alice, and that's what she felt guilty about.
Yep. And
That poor
Sharon was
kid.
leaving
And,
for
and
weeks
the
at a
thing is,
time
yeah,
to
who do
go
you think
cook
was
for
taking
other
Alice to
guys.
school? Who do you think was taking care of Alice? Who do you think was actually being the mother of that household?
Yeah, and that's when Alice started making posts on TikToks that were sent to me. I had no idea what our kids' TikToks were. They were sent to me, and it was TikToks of Alice being like, I had to call my dad for Uber Eats because my mom's left me here for 4 days with no food in the house. Da 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 da
Right.
da, all this shit. And then, Jordan had made some TikToks about the shit she had been through that were sent to me. If someone put a gun to my head right now, I wouldn't be able to tell you her kids' TikToks.
Right.
It's freaking ridiculous.
Right. But I mean,
So,
I'm just saying that Jordan knew at that time that was going to happen.
oh yeah.
And it's no
Hmm.
coincidence that it did happen. Shortly after she left, the other one was leaving for her father's house. Now, I think that Jordan was happy about the fact. I think Jordan was faced with the situation where she had to grow up and have her own life,
Yep.
and
She had to get
she couldn't.
out.
Yeah, she couldn't be living with Sharon and doing this anymore, being the mother for Alice anymore. She had to move on. And so she was in this very tough position. And I think Sharon made it harder on her. And I think that at a certain point she had to make that decision. She made it. She said, "Hey, look, I'm out of here. I can't do it." And I think that Alice, she was scared about where Alice was going to end up. And then whenever she ended up in the situation that Alice is currently in, I think Jordan was very happy about
Oh yeah.
it. Yeah.
Now,
That
remember
much
when
I know.
Jordan was younger, she was in some kind of group or some kind of texting, and she was texting different people, and we were sent those screenshots, and Jordan does say, I I don't know what's going to happen to my younger sister when I grow up and I move out. I want to take my little sister with me,
Yep.
because I don't know what's going to happen to her. Remember those, Susie?
Yep.
So Jordan was thinking about this when she was still like 13, 14, 15. You guys. Like,
Yep.
my
Hmm.
little sister is fucked once I move out. And she knew it
Yeah.
back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all knew it. I said it
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And I could tell that, Jordan was like, didn't know what to fucking think of me because we were always eating. You know
Right.
what I mean? When I was there, if I went, I was bringing fucking McDonald's and shit in. All that bullshit. I was like, fucking, I'm eating. I don't know about y'all, but what do y'all want? I would go get whatever, and then they were looking at me like I was fucking nuts. Like, what the fuck's wrong with this fat motherfucker? So,
Yeah.
But you know what? You were, and I never meant any harm by this. But what single mother with two little girls brings a man off the internet to her home?
Yeah.
right.
Who does this, you
A
guys?
man
I'm
that had
sorry. Who
attacked
does this?
Sharon for years.
Right. But this is what these kids grew up with, you guys.
Yeah.
Where Sarah, and Sarah was a friend. Okay, nothing, but it's still somebody off the internet. Like, my girls know my work friends that I had when I was younger that were still friends now. My girls know this. I've never brought somebody home that I met off the internet that I don't know that's come into my house to visit me. She was
Yeah.
always putting these kids in danger. And that's why
Hmm.
calls were made. And
Yeah. I
CPS
mean, but
stepped up.
I had Bobby and Shannon Marshall
Right.
come to my house. I met
But did you
JT.
have a husband there with you?
Yes, yes, I did.
And were you fucking either of them?
No.
Okay, then. There's a huge
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. True that.
Well, I just the way they were looking at me strange is because I guess that wasn't like normal behavior. I guess you don't just provide your children with food. and figure that they're hungry. Hey, let me go get you what you need. I know
Well,
I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, they
see,
didn't have that
Come
kind of growing
too.
up because they were so poor.
and
She
that's the
refused to
thing.
work, and like so, fast food was probably a treat for them. You
She
I
know,
kept
guess.
saying shit about me only feeding my kids Hot Pockets, and I'm like, where the fuck is she getting this from? Like, my kids don't even like Hot Pockets that much. I think I've bought them 4
Yeah, Hot
times in
Pockets
my
ain't
life,
shit.
and she was fucking feeding her kids cuisines, which are for like 3 and 4 year olds.
Yeah. Which if that's what they like, oh well. I mean, if they would have said, "Hey, go get me some kids' cuisine," but that's not what they
No,
said.
the kids said that it wouldn't fill her up, and she was still starving all the time.
Good lord.
And that bitch had food stamps. I haven't had food stamps since the kids were babies.
Right.
But anyway, it's okay. Let me finish
I gotta,
this.
I gotta drop out. I gotta take this call. I'll be back. Watch for me, JT. I'll
You
be back.
better be
Okay.
back.
Okay.
And because I did what's right for Alice, Jordan has purposely kept me from him and everything I have done for her. Again, I did not kick her out. I gave her a choice. She made it. I never had my kids lie to police. Da, da, da. My daughter made a choice for attention and money to lie on me on social media. They made a choice, and one day they will see the consequences. I can only be responsible for what I've done, and no one will bully me into taking responsibility for things I haven't. I missed out on Alice's prom and probably graduation. That sucks, but I'm the one that has all the first from the beginning, first crawl, steps taken, words, etc. And I'm going to remember that until the day I die. Yeah, because you kept that from that poor man because you lied about who the father was, Sharon.
Hmm.
So brag about that some more. Just brag more about what a piece of shit person you are. After recent events, I made a harder decision to remove myself from my daughters, and it's painful, but I'm not going to be lied on, bullied, etc. It's toxic, period. Sometimes you have to separate yourself, even if it's family and if it's painful, but it is what's best. Sharon, people have disagreements with their children and get estranged from their parents or get estranged from their kids all the time. That doesn't mean that you just abandon your child and cut off ties for it. No, you go to therapy, you try to work out why is this happening, if it's all lies like you claim it is. But the fact that you didn't do any of those things just goes to show more that what your former children have said is true. Because if it was all lies and you're like, where the hell is this coming from? Like if my
See.
kids woke up one day or JT's kids woke up one day or probably everybody in this chat kids woke up one day and all of a sudden their kids were saying that their mom, sexually abused them, physically abused them, emotionally abused them, did all these horrible things, we would all be like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Where is this coming from? Let me find a therapist. What's going on? Yada,
Right.
yada, yada. And get into some sort of therapy immediately. I don't think anybody in this chat would be like, oh my gosh, that's a total lie. I need to never speak to
Yeah.
you again.
Why is that the go-to? It's immediately a lie when it doesn't stick to my narrative or what I'm saying. You
Right.
know, I would, the idea that you're going to run straight to it's a lie, it says a lot,
Right.
and go to your regular go-to. It just says a lot. It says that what they're saying is true. Because
Yeah.
everything supposedly we're saying, right? Sweet Cheeks is a lie, supposedly,
Right.
right?
And when I was sent those posts, and I'll never forget it, it was on May 5th and on Jordan's birthday. I forget what beach hotel we were staying at. I literally cried for hours. I believe I called you, JT. It was late.
Mm.
I called Christina. I called a couple people because I could not believe what I was reading and seeing, and it crushed my heart. But you instantly are like, oh, they're lying about me. They're going to go to jail because they made a social media post about me and blah, 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 blah. And then you made the most vile, disgusting post that you made and accused your daughters of some vile, disgusting stuff that, again, I'm not even going to repeat. But we have all the screenshots of it. And then, proceeded to cut ties all off with them. And then, now you want to say, oh, it was because I was sick, blah, 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 blah. No, you're saying right here, Sharon, that it was because they made lies up about you. So, try to keep your lies straight. I know you got a lot of them, but at least try to keep them straight. So after recent, I made harder decisions to remove myself from my daughters, and it's painful, but I'm not going to be lied on, bullied, etc. It's toxic, period. Sometimes you have to separate yourself, even if it's family, and it's painful, but it is what it is. Best. I will always love my daughters. I will pray for them. But from recent events, stuff they did, I made a hold on. But from recent events, stuff they did, I made a decision to just
it's
be
Chrissy.
done. What?
I just saw Chrissy. I'm sorry.
My
I've been
God, I
looking.
am so popular today. Okay, I'm muting.
You're always
Okay.
popular.
I
This
know
is
it.
not how I raise my kids, to see them act like this. It's like I don't even recognize them. My brothers, my niece, and now my daughters are both dead to me. That's really nice, Sharon. I thought it was because you were sick and couldn't take care of them and you were dying and this and that and whatever. Now you're saying it's because they said things on social media and you made the choice to remove them out of your life and now they're dead to you. But you're also saying that, oh, I hope one day I can talk to them and da-da-da when they're 18. Like, you're fucking so wackadoodle. And you wonder why literally nobody, not one person, please correct me if I'm wrong. Name one person that believes you in this YouTube community about any of the shit you say.
Eli's drunk does. The drunk believes her.
I don't
Because when
even
she
think
went on
they're
that,
believing her
oh my
anymore.
God, dude, Dawn was crying
I
when
know.
Sharon was up there, and she's just up there just spilling tears like it was beer. And I'm thinking, God damn, Dawn, are you that fucking
But
stupid?
I don't think they believe her
But she
any. I
doesn't
don't
know
think
her.
Dawn believes her
No,
anymore.
well, Dawn doesn't believe. Dawn doesn't know her either.
Yeah,
And
and
she was like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
they have
It's
to
really
stay on the
sad.
phone with her for 3 hours to
Did you
tell
hear
her what
that? How,
insurance to get.
did you hear that?
Yeah.
3 hours? So if the bitch still got insurance, how the fuck was she going to the hospital and seeing all these doctors for the 2 brain aneurysms she has and the heart attack she had? Because remember, she said she had a heart
Bingo.
attack.
Right.
Yep. And she's a yawn and a sneeze and whatever else away from dying.
Can't can't
But
hike or swim or walk. She
right.
even said walk in one of them.
But she claims I have one foot in the grave and I'm gonna
Well,
fucking die any
if you
day.
took a good old fashioned country shit, wouldn't that be about the equivalent of a yawn or I don't
Yeah,
know, a hike?
straining or
Or,
Hey,
whatever.
you
Yeah.
know what?
I
Hey,
mean, so
isn't that
she
how the
did take
king
a big
died?
shit.
Isn't that how the king died? He pooped and had a stroke and died.
Yeah.
Elvis? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the same.
So she says, I will always love my daughters. I will always pray from them. But from recent events, stuff they did, I made a decision to just be done. This is not how I raise my kids. To see them act like this, it's like I don't even recognize them. My brothers, my niece, and now my daughters are both dead to me. I have to move on and live my life. Other family members that I do see don't like what my kids did. But again, they made their choices. They have to live with it because, like Eli said, one day you will regret what you did. My grandson, I don't know if I'll ever see him before I die. That's on his mom, not me. Lying to your son about his grandma. he will know the truth one day. And if I don't get to see him before I leave this world, I will see him again in heaven. How old is that kid? Like maybe 3 years old? And you think Jordan's
He's a year old.
yeah, you think Jordan's sitting there having conversations with him about you dumb fuck? I will see him again in heaven. I'm letting God do what he needs to do. I hope my daughters will change and turn away from witchcraft and the behavior and beliefs. I can't make that choice for them. I pray for their souls, and that's all I can do. So you can be a hypocrite Christian, but they can't try to learn about witchcraft and see if that's something that interests them and do that. You were friends with Percy. Percy was your sister from another mister, and Percy's all about witchcraft. So how was that okay?
Yeah, no shit. It's not okay for your kid, but it's okay for your little BFF over there. Ain't that
Right.
nice?
Okay, we're almost through these, I think, guys. I will not be watching Hammy's hate stream. I will not give her that satisfaction. I will be busy doing other things because I do have a life. What, wearing your ugly Skechers shoes, the old lady Skechers shoes to your job at Michael's? Fucking A, those shoes.
Dude,
If
those
you
shoes were
really
so
paid,
ugly.
if you paid $82 for them, you paid $80 too much. Like that's
Ella.
some shit my fucking stepmom would wear. I could not believe those. Anyways, I'm not where I want to be fully in life. Shocker. Because I'm still working on my goals. But thank God I'm not where I was in the past. God put me right where I needed to be. God gave me my job and I'm starting over. It's not easy, but I'm doing it every day. Sure doesn't seem like you're going to work every day. It's okay if
No, it doesn't.
others don't like me, but it's not okay to lie and do criminal allegations because you want
Yes, sir.
content on YouTube. Every choice you make has a consequence. Sharon, if I cared about fucking content on YouTube, don't you think I would have been streaming for the past year? Don't you think I would have been streaming like every day for the past however many years? Like that's the last thing. I've never wanted to be a social media influencer. That's not something I've even remotely fucking interested in. Um
Mm-mm.
so again, you always fall back on that. And you're the one that comes out here and claims, you want to be a social media influencer, you want to help people, you want to be an advocate for people with CSA, yada yada yada. You have two successful channels that nobody happens to know about, right?
Mhm.
This fucking website. Like you lie so much, Sharon. Like we were saying earlier, JT touched on it. You expose yourself better than any of us could ever fucking expose you.
She does.
Anytime you open your fucking mouth, because
She
you
does.
sound so ridiculous.
She does.
I
Absolutely.
guarantee you said about these successful channels to Eli, and he has said, "Oh wow, Sharon, show me, what are they?" And you've made some stupid excuse of why you can't show him because they don't fucking exist. You're a
Mm-hmm.
schizophrenic, dude. Seriously. Um, to Eli and Dawn and others that support me, thank you. You really think Eli and Dawn are supporting you and others? Who's others? Oh, what, ODN? Since you
That's
started
it.
working with Eli and Dawn, again, they've told you, I don't even know how many times since that stupid interview for you, that you're obsessed with us, that you need to ignore us, that all you do is talk about us. Today we've sat back on these restreams and have laughed our asses off
Dude, he
because
went
of,
off on her. Dude, he
yeah.
tore her up for blocking
Oh,
Sarah.
wait till
Hella.
there's a comment, a post that should be coming up that I'm dying for you guys to see that
Okay.
was sent to me. Uh, it's okay if others don't like me, but it's not okay to lie and do criminal allegations because you want content on YouTube. So I guess you saying that I'm paying people to do streams on you and that I'm emailing Jordan, would those be criminal activities, Sharon? Should I call the police and file a police report because you said those things? Because that's criminal, right? Yeah, I should do that. Just like when you sent the cops to my house lying, saying that I was showing your flapjack titties online when I wasn't.
Oh, somebody asked her if she ever sent Lassie Bushman nudes, and she said, "No, I never sent him any nudes." Bitch, yeah, you did, because we got them.
Yeah,
We
she
hella
sent
got some
Shani.
nudes.
Yeah, she sent Shani nudes too. I
Yep.
will keep going forward no matter what happens. I'm never alone. And the good Lord is always with me. I have supporters even behind the scenes. I have Jesus Christ, and nobody can take that away. Never give up, never surrender, always keep going. Okay, so I do want to share this one.
Celebrity says
JT,
she has
Jesus,
Jesus
how many did
Christ.
she make?
this was just in the last 24 hours, y'all.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but we're almost
Oh, my
done.
God.
So JT saw the post that she made $82 Skechers I bought for work. I hate white, but oh well, I don't care. LOL, you gotta, and then the rest of it's cut off. And she shows the ugly old lady fucking shoes that I didn't even know people still bought Skechers besides like old people. But anyway, so then JT saw that and JT posted, maybe you could pay me back the money you owe me for your children's Uber rides and such. You know, the money you con Percy out of that I paid her back for.
Oh,
Also
that's
after
right.
also after that, pay back the money for your children's bunk beds as well. Thanks. JT's Cash App
Well, why the
is
fuck can't she be a fucking responsible parent and pay for her own children's shit?
right.
Why
Because she
do I
never
gotta pay
did.
for it?
Because she never did, JT. She was always doing GoFundMe's, getting
I
people
don't know
to feel
her
sorry for
or her
herself.
children's shit.
Remember when she got all that money, for the back taxes, spent it all, and then when her power bill came due, she didn't have any money left because she blew it on attorneys. And she went
Right.
to Sarah and Eli, and they threw her some money to pay her power bill. And then she went to them again, and Eli was like, "No, I can't give you any more money." And so
Mhm.
the kid was working, so the kid had to start paying the power bill and helping
Right.
with
Yep.
bills because her kid could work, but she couldn't. And now
Right.
she's going to work. So now she's going to better her life
That makes
when
sense.
both kids are gone. Now you're going to go get a job and work, and the kids are gone. What? Who does that? Who
I
does
don't
Right.
that?
know. But here's the question: why couldn't she go to work while the kids were in school, and then come
Exactly.
home
Exactly.
and take care of
And
your youngest while the oldest goes to work?
And I don't want to hear
Yep.
shit because I worked for the same company since I was 16. I went back in 1996 and I went out in 2018 to have a foot surgery. And then I never went back because
And
I
that's
had
what I'm
three
saying
more.
about
So I
Jordan.
worked. I worked and then I went back a couple years ago and I was back for a few years. My dad passed. I came into a large inheritance. So I quit because I don't need to work anymore.
And that's
I'm
what I'm saying
comfortable.
about Jordan taking care of the household and being the actual mom. I mean, I want you to understand something that Jordan's walking a mile. It's a good mile to work and walking a mile home and
That's
working and paying those
crazy.
bills. I want you to
That's
understand that while her mother sits on her ass and watches Susie all day.
That
yeah.
makes me
That's
sick.
so
That
sad.
makes me fucking
Okay.
sick.
I mean, what's going on? And that's a fact.
My
People
kids
are
had a
hurt.
car before they even turned 16 outside on the street waiting for them to turn 16. We had to drop, a decent amount of money in it and everything else, but I made sure that they had a vehicle. for when, my son's been working, he needs a vehicle to get to work and, but whatever. Okay, here we're almost done. So since she stalks JT's life, JT had made a comment. I think Tammy had made a post saying that the stream that they were going to do today was going to be tomorrow now. And JT commented saying, okay, Susie, Chrissy, Jordan, and Alice, see you tomorrow then. And then, of course, Sharon screenshotted it and said, just an FYI, having a minor on is not a good judgment call. Definitely consequences can happen. Well, Sharon, you did that. You had your minor on. So what consequences can happen? And again, not saying that anyone's going to be on or not be on, but if they were, again, what could happen? Because you threw your minor child on a stream with
Right.
Tony and other MGTOW men that that MGTOW men don't like women, and you already knew they were calling you out and didn't believe a word you said and all that else, and that you had lied about the whole situation. And you still threw your daughter on there and had your daughter talk about like that whole whatever. I'm not even going to get into it, so long ago.
It's gross.
But yeah, it was disgusting.
It was
and
inappropriate.
gross.
It's something a child should have not been discussing. And kids are all over YouTube. There are children's channels all over the place. Parents putting their kids all over YouTube.
And if we
We're not
had the
saying
permission
that
of
that's
her
what was going to
guardian
happen,
or
but
her
you can't make
father,
it excuse it for one thing and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
yeah,
She can have her kid go on a stream and sing Merry Christmas to Corey Feldman. Remember when
Yeah.
she did that?
Uh-huh. hmm Okay, I don't know what this was from. The only attention you will get from me, Witchy Nicole, or who I call female Pillsbury Doho. Keep your ugly demon self over there. Don't come to my channel commenting. Nobody cares when we know you do. This is my channel, and I'll say or post what I want. I don't answer to demons. I don't negotiate with demons, but technically you just answered her, so there's that. I'm sorry, Jenny Craig failed you, but not my fault. Ta-ta. You always talk about people's looks and their weight, Sharon. I heard that you have gotten huge. And I said, well, I'm sure I'm bigger than her because of my steroid situation. And this person was like, no, there's no way. She has gotten huge, and that you wear a mask.
There you go. Go on.
You wear
Tell
a
the mask.
to hide your teeth and your face and everything else. So, okay. Some people
so
here think they are journalists, reporters, or they are a judge and their flying monkeys are the jury. Newsflash, you aren't. You want the truth and facts? You all are a bunch of hypocrites, liars, abusers, and convicted felons. Another fact. What you're doing won't make your life better, won't make you rich or beautiful. Who said it fucking would, you
Hey,
dumb
guess
fuck?
what? I'm rich. FYI, I'm rich. Here, hold on a second. Alexa, what's the minimum wage in Kingsport, Tennessee? Oh my God. In
What?
2020, the minimum wage in Kingsport was $7.20.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No. Can somebody, Alexa,
no, that's probably right.
what's the current minimum wage in Kingsport, Tennessee?
I think you need to know the county.
I think
Okay,
that's
hold on.
right.
It's $7.25, you guys.
Wow.
And
My
that's what she's
son
making
makes
at Michael's.
my son makes $20 an hour.
That's why she could only afford Skechers, and I bet that was her whole check to buy them Skechers, because you know that bitch ain't getting 40 hours a week.
She probably got them at Ross or somewhere on
Yeah,
sale.
exactly.
No way
Well,
she
she
paid
probably
me.
gets a employee discount.
Not at
Well,
Michael's. Michael's is
Michael's
a craft
doesn't sell
store.
shoes.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it?
Michael's is a craft store at GT. I'm
Oh, my
sorry.
bad.
They sell crafts.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
I
You probably
didn't
didn't
know.
know.
I don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck
you're fine.
Michael's is.
They
I
sell
never been.
they sell crayons and fake flowers. It's a craft
Yeah.
store.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this was the last one that I wanted to read to you guys. This happened during Eli's stream. There's somebody in Eli's stream that goes by Good Day Sunshine 69. Well, they got pissed off because of the whole Sarah situation, and they're friends with ODN. And so she left the stream and went over to Sharon's channel, and she said, Sharon, Eli was not cool to you on his stream today. I am not going back there. Good luck with everything. I would stay away from him if I were you. He screamed at you and promoted SB. No way would I go back. You and his viewers get constantly harassed defending him, but he dumps on his viewers and defends that horrid woman. And Sharon replies and says, I know exactly how she is, and I stood up for myself exactly. I didn't deserve that, and I told him I made a mistake. I wasn't trying to block her out permanently. I admitted to my mistake. He didn't read the chat. Shit happened. I told the truth. That's all I can say. She's the devil's wife. So is Susie. I know all the players.
You know
Again,
what? The
I
only
wasn't
comment.
involved in the,
No,
hold, give me
you.
1 second. I
Okay.
wasn't involved in that in any way, shape, or form, Sharon. But again, because you want to wear my fucking face and are on some single white female shit that's actually is starting to fucking terrify me, if I'm being honest. And because you always have to insert me in shit that I literally have nothing to fucking do with. You have been trying to bait me since my diagnosis, since I got off YouTube. I have ignored all of it. And then I get online to address fucking Eli's threats. And you fucking make it about you, make it about you, make it about you. Keep talking your shit in the chat, accusing me of this, accusing me of that, accusing me of that. When everybody out here knows I have not been in a live stream. I have not hosted a live stream. I have not fucking said your word. I fucking apologized to you last July, when I got triggered about something when my niece was here. I jumped live on my phone and said how ridiculous all this YouTube shit was because something was sent to me and it triggered me. And I fucking went off on that stream and said how stupid this was, that I was embarrassed that I was ever involved in any of it, that I regretted it all. I did an open apology to everybody and said, you know, if I ever hurt you, I'm sorry, yada, yada. And I said, even you, Sharon, I apologize to you. And then when I did go live about Eli and you were running your dick sucker in his chat, making up all these lies about me, I went off the rails twice and made, you know, said some shit about you. And I immediately apologized again, both times, and said, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. And that was it. And then you still, it's like Eli said today, how many times does someone have to apologize to you? Do you want it written in the fucking sky? Like, I shouldn't have honestly, I really don't have anything to apologize to you for, because everything we all said all these years about you being a piece of shit mother and you putting those kids through hell and everything else was proven to be 100% a fact. CPS, when they come to your house, just like CPS came to my house multiple times, because you and other people called and whatever else, guess what? They came and talked to me, my kids, my husband, and every single case was unfounded. You, on the other hand, they came to your house, spoke to you and your children, and did not close the cases. They opened up the case. They made you do drug tests. They made you do therapy. They made you go to classes because they saw shit themselves of how you were not properly taking care of your kids and making them sleep on the fucking kitchen floor. You had a master bedroom in that apartment and then a smaller bedroom. And you fucking put one kid in the smaller bedroom, one kid in the kitchen, while your fat ass was laying up in the master bedroom. Any normal fucking person, parent, would have had both kids in the master room and their ass in the smaller room, or given each kid a room and their asses would have been sleeping on the couch.
Yep.
And if you remember, Damien said she had a great bed, she had a beautiful mattress. The kids had bullshit mattresses, and then Sharon just slept downstairs. I heard that with that live that you did with him. Like I didn't even know that. He said that she slept on the couch every night, and the girls and were sleeping upstairs in horrible mattresses. And Sharon had a nice bed with like a memory foam, and he went to go buy Alice a bed, and she didn't want him to. She wanted him to buy her a blow up bed. Remember that whole? I listened to that stream you did with him, and that was part of it. That stuck with me.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, Sharon, leave my name the fuck out of your nasty ass fucking stinky mouth. I hadn't said your name in fucking forever. Don't worry about what I'm doing with the time that I have. Again, you have no idea because I don't need to get on social media and say, oh, I'm living my best life. Oh, I'm having a horrible fucking day. Oh, this. Oh, feel sorry for me. Blah, blah, blah. Like you constantly have to do. I can't believe you actually said how nobody felt sorry for you because of grief you went through, which I guess you claimed your aunt got shot or something. How is
Somebody got
anybody supposed
murdered.
to know that?
What the fuck? I bet you that's. I bet you 99% that ain't even true. And guess what? She never got to see any of her kids graduate. But guess what? You did last week.
Yeah,
You got to see both your kids graduate high school.
sure did.
She'll never see that. She'll never see that. But you know what? She probably don't even care because she didn't even care that she had a grandson. Didn't give a shit. Percy was more important, and talking about you. That was more important to her than her grandson being born.
Yeah, who doesn't go to the hospital when their daughter's giving birth? Like, that's
No
crazy to
shit.
me. And she claims they were on good terms then. That's when she was giving her the couch. That's when she was doing months of laundry because, people have months of laundry, guys. Um,
Yeah.
and all that bullshit. Like, you're horrible. And then you want credit for giving your daughter a used fucking red ass ugly couch that you've had for years. Like, you don't
And wants
fucking.
credit for it. Wants credit for just doing the bare minimum. That's all these
Right.
kids ever got, you guys, was the bare minimum. And like I said, I've been in the
Not
Madeline
even.
Soto case, and that's all Jen Soto did for her daughter Maddie was the bare. Maddie never even got the bare minimum. Jen Soto was a piece of shit mother, and I hope the state of Florida fucking convicts her for at least child neglect because of what this man was doing. She was making her little girl sleep with her boyfriend, a grown man.
Yeah, I can't handle that
It's
shit.
disgusting. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. But that Sharon is a Jen Soto, did the bare minimum for those kids. Barely got nothing. Them kids barely got nothing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
They really
Even
didn't.
if that,
Yeah.
as soon as Jordan was gone and wasn't there to look after Alice, she just left Alice there by herself and didn't give a flying shit and went off to try to find a man to live with. She knew she was losing her place of her apartment because they were selling the apartment building. That's another reason why you had to sign over your rights. It wasn't because you were sick and doing the best thing for your daughter. Da, 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 da. You literally couldn't provide a place for her to live
Why
because
didn't they move it with her dad? Why doesn't her dad ever? You hear about, oh, my dad came to the hospital and held my hand when I had my heart attack. Why doesn't her dad ever take her in? Why didn't he take her and the kid in, and they could go live with him until she found a good job and maybe could get an apartment or something? The dad
Because she'd
don't
have
never
to
help her.
obey by his rules, and she's not going to do that.
He probably doesn't want to
No.
be around her, is what it is.
Right.
You couldn't imagine how horrible it is to live with somebody who's mentally like that.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't handle it for 17 or 18 hours or whatever it was, or 15 hours. It
Do
was
you know?
absolutely horrid.
Do you know what Alice said in one of her posts on her YouTube channel? She said that she hates that Sharon was even her mother, and that she wishes she could switch her DNA so she wasn't even related in blood with Sharon. When a kid says that, that fucking speaks volumes to me. When that kid
And
wants to switch their DNA.
And I'm just going to say this in that 4 hour stream that we did, and the reasons why we said we were going to do a part two is because there's a lot more that was sent to me, guys. Full recordings of stuff, full videos of stuff, a ton of stuff that was not put out in that first stream. Now, I will say pretty much the worst of the worst was put out in that first stream, but there is a lot more that was not put out in that first stream. And that's why we were going to do a part two. And I still have it. I still have every single thing. It's been saved, and all that. So, do I feel need to go back there and play all that stuff and put it out there? No. If she wants to really fucking keep going and continue to accuse her kids of stuff and continue to lie about things and not start telling the truth and, wants to keep with this bullshit story about, oh, I gave up my kids because I was sick and it was the best thing for them and the hardest thing for me. Went literally the same day you're saying you're living your best life you've ever lived and your daughters are this and that and this and the other thing. Maybe it will have to be put out there at some point. But I don't want to fucking do the back and forth, especially with that fucking bitch. I don't have it in me. I don't.
No,
Yeah, I
you don't
don't.
have you don't have it in you. And you know
There's
what?
really back and
Susie is
forth shit,
really
though.
sick, you guys. Susie is, like she's not terminal, but she's very, very sick. Okay? But do you see Susie giving up her kids?
Right.
Mm-mm.
And she's legit sick. People don't do that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with her. She gave up her kid because she just didn't want to be a mom. And the school
Yeah.
started stepping in and was like, hey, why isn't she coming to school? What's going on? And Alice says her mom yanked her out of school, made her do homeschool, and she didn't want to do homeschool. She wanted to go to school. She wanted to get out of that house, but her mom didn't want to get up and take her ass to school every
Now,
And
morning. Her mom did
Alice,
not want to wake up.
from the last I heard, Alice is done amazing now that she's back in school.
well, I'm
That's
sure.
awesome to hear that. That's awesome. I honestly hope that these girls get some peace in their life because you know what? They fucking deserve it. They really fucking deserve it. And Alice, she talks in the few little things she said. She loves her mom, Damien's wife. She loves her mom.
Mhm.
That she calls her mom. And and I've heard Damien's wife is an awesome stand-up, great person.
She
So
is.
thank God she's got a strong, good woman in her life to idolize. And I'm happy for that. But goddamn, if
She
I could
does.
erase the memories from these girls' mind so they could not remember from the time they were born until they got out of that house, I wish I could. I wish I could.
Yeah, and it like seriously enrages me anytime I see her say, especially someone who wants to claim they're an advocate for CSA and SA survivors, when she's like, "Oh, well, if I did those things to my kids, then why wasn't there police reports? Why did they go to the teachers? Why didn't they go to the social worker at schools?" It literally infuriates me to a level that I can't even explain, because it's like, you
Yeah, me
stupid
too.
bitch, then where's the proof that your grandfather did anything to you? Like, those of us who have unfortunately been through something like that don't have proof of that and didn't tell anybody until we were ready, or, maybe people did, whatever. But it's more common for survivors slash victims to not say anything until they're older, and some people never say anything. Like, I said, my best friend knew because she had been through it, and that was it until I got involved in the Corey Feldman stuff and met everyone that I've met, and they were sharing their stories and stuff. Bobby was somebody that I opened up to. I didn't even tell George until like 4 years ago. My brother didn't know until 5 years ago. And it just kind of came out when I was at his house, and I was in the car with him and my sister in law, and he was telling a story. And then, it just kind of came out. And my brother was like, "What the fuck?" And of course, he knew the person that did it to me and stuff. And then I ended up telling George one time when we were in Vegas, and I've talked to people about it since then. But
But how old were you when you started coming out, though? You were what, in your late 30s?
well, I told my best friend when I was like 18, 19. But
Okay.
yeah, I told the next person I told was Bobby, which was probably in like 2018. So like 7 years ago, or however it's been. I'm 46 now.
So
So
according to Sharon, her kids should have been saying stuff back then, right?
right.
Hmm.
Why did, oh God. Oh my God.
Oh,
There's another
And
point where Jordan or Alice, I don't know which one, says one time Sharon sat them down and told them that she's had over 200 men sexually. And then the
oh.
kid says, I didn't know what you wanted from me. If you wanted me to feel sorry for you or to pat you on the back, I didn't know what you wanted after you told me that. What parent does this?
I know.
Who does that?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just disgusting. And I was also R word my first time. And again, this was all going on while my sister was fucking dying. So,
Oh, wow.
of course, I didn't go to my mom about it or anybody else. I didn't know what was going on. Stuff like that wasn't talked about like how it is nowadays. Um, I didn't know what that stuff was. I honestly didn't. And, the way my abuser portrayed it to me with the molestation, the CSA, was that it was normal, that I was, his girlfriend, this, that, was
Yes.
disgusting. And I've looked him
You
up.
were groomed. That's called you were
Right.
groomed. Yes.
Yep. And it wasn't until 2 years later when we moved out of Chicago and back to the suburbs, and I got away from that person, that it stopped. Um, so, and just because I don't get on the internet and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, and the poor me, and oh, this person did this to me for so many years, and then, like she does, doesn't
Right.
mean, or like maybe some of you guys in the chat don't, doesn't mean we haven't been through shit. It's like she is out here, and she literally admitted it this past week. She's out here looking for sympathy and trying to get sympathy for the things she's been through. And oh, nobody cared about the grief, and the stuff I went through when I was abused, and my health issues, and da 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 da. like, I didn't come out here and tell you guys all about my MS diagnosis to get sympathy and for people to feel bad for me. If that was the case, the second I was diagnosed, I would have come out here and told you guys all. And then I would have been live, multiple times a week talking about it. I could still go live and tell you, hey guys, I fell this day and oh, I got the fucking door, like I could go on and on about shit. But
Oh yeah,
again, why the fuck do I need to do that?
because you're not like that. You're not weird. You're not psycho. You're not out here attention. Sharon's always she's always had attention-seeking behavior. She wants attention, no matter if it's good or bad. She just has to get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to me. It
It
is
is. It's
so
weird to me
weird to
too.
me.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
And
And I don't
then,
get how she has to always be sick. And there always has to be something so wrong with her. And every time she goes to the hospital, she's almost dying. Remember when she had her hysterectomy? She almost died during the hysterectomy. You all
oh
remember
yeah,
that? Everything
yeah,
is, I almost died in the hospital. It's true. I almost died.
yeah.
Bitch.
Here's pictures from me in a doctor's office, but I almost died. You know, I don't even remember her ever even being admitted for a day or two in the hospital. Christina, you know how many times I was admitted. Barb,
Jesus.
Barb knows how many times I was admitted. I, never came on
Fuck.
here and was like, "Oh, I'm admitted. Oh, I've been
Mm-mm.
sent home on this." Da 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 da. Da.
With the
It's
burns,
so. Oh yeah, and the
with the
one when I
burns, you were
broke
in
my
a
shoulder.
week.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I broke my fucking shoulder. It's like,
And then
I
you
don't
had to go
know.
into a rehabilitation home. It wasn't just a hospital. Then she
Yeah,
had to go into a real, like a nursing home, but it was a real. My mom went into the same thing. But
yeah,
yeah, same thing.
yeah. I was there for 2 weeks and then I fell there. And that's when they found the chronic progressive MS. And it's just, I don't know. I don't get it. And Sharon, you really need to leave me
Well,
out of your shit because I haven't
what it
done
is
shit to you.
what it is that Sharon, like, the organism does what has made the organism successful in the past. And
You're
so
roboting.
well, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so she's going to do what's made her successful in the past. So that's why she does what she does. Because at some level, she has been successful with doing whatever it is she's doing somewhere
Does that
along
sound familiar? Doesn't that kind of sound like Eli
Yeah.
spinning your wheels and not going anywhere?
the line. Right,
Or ODN faking his death.
right.
Like, I was such a dumb fuck to believe that. Like, everybody was like, oh, he's full of shit. He didn't die. That's some bullshit. And I was like, you guys are all horrible. Like, what if he did really kill himself? Like, I refused to say that or not kill himself, but that he passed away. I
Hmm.
refused to say that that wasn't true. And I thought it was horrible that people were saying it wasn't true. But then,
I did too. I thought
I
it was
know.
terrible.
Yeah, you did. That's right. And and then come to find out, like, who does shit like that? And then brutally Lauren, like, I knew she was a liar and she wasn't truthful and she was shady, but I didn't know she was the thief that she was. And
Mm-mm.
that's, like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. Who does shit like that?
hmm
That was crazy.
I
Is Joe
mean,
in the chat? What does he say? I can't see it. What does he say?
Joe, buddy, JT has 199 Eskimo brothers. Was Sharon was Sharon flexing to her daughters? I had 200 men. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Put a one in the chat if this was one of Eli's best streams. I had to say it. I have to
You
say it.
know,
This was a great stream, especially
I'll
when
say
he
this.
lit her up.
It was great that he called her out, but he's been calling her out ever since their interview. But motherfucker, I could not stand listen to another word of him, even if when he was cussing out Sharon.
Oh my
Three
God, doesn't he's
hours,
on repeat? He's
two
on
hours of
repeat
that
so
man is
much.
too
God.
much. I don't know how y'all do
God.
it. Like
No, well, he
the
doesn't go usually 2 hours.
I had rage. I was like, I cannot listen to another fucking word this
Oh,
guy
dude.
says.
And he just repeats and repeats. Every stream is the exact same as the one the day before. And all he does is how he's gonna sue Jamie for $150,000 and he's taking him to court and where he lives and his dad and it's nuts because him and Sharon are exactly the same. They're
Mhm.
exactly the same.
Joe
Yeah, they are.
says, I would like to personally thank Sarah for derailing
Mm,
Eli's dream and turning it into a glorious dumpster fire.
and she didn't have to do. All she did was come in and see a few things, and it was just to Eli. And everybody just jumps her, and I don't get it. I don't
That's
get.
because she keeps
She's not
saying the
even
same thing over and over again. That's why.
who who Sharon or
Sharon,
Sarah.
Sharon.
Oh, I'm talking about Sarah. When
Oh,
Sarah
Sharon.
came into the chat, she was just talking to Eli about, hey, look, he wasn't legally served. You know, that might have been dropped off at his house, but Jamie wasn't legally served. You've got to redo it. And boom, the chat, Sharon just going at her, and everybody just jumping. I'm like, damn, Sarah didn't even fucking do nothing. And then Sharon said something like, I've seen Sarah in real life, and she's not that pretty, and she's just an ugly bitch. Something about high school, and something about high school too, but just attacking her. And I'm like, damn, Sarah didn't even do nothing to you, bitch.
Mm, I don't know. She acts like shit that happened a year ago, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago happened yesterday. That's the way Sharon acts.
Oh yeah, that's true. You are right about that. Yes, she
And
does.
it's just like fucking constant repeat with her. And Eli just now figuring this out. I don't get it.
No,
Sharon's
he's
been like,
not. He knows how she is. He's tried to work with her before. He's called her out like he has today before. And she's called him out for, being doing illegal things and da 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 and all the shit she has said about him. But again, Eli thinks he can try to be save a hoe, and that's why he did, they've been talking about doing that interview for almost a goddamn year now. And then they do it, but like that's why he was bringing my name up and threatening me because he thought he wanted me to talk about their interview to promote it and to restream it and stuff because he knows it would have brought it way more attention had I done that. But, I was asked to restream it. I said, no, thank you. Have no desire to do that. And then, when he made the threats he made towards me in his live stream and then on his community wall, which is conveniently deleted now, but again, we have the screenshot, I went live to address him. And then Sharon, of course, does what she does and makes it about her and da 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 da. And I still ignored it. The day that interview played, I was getting ready. That's the day my kids graduated. I was getting ready for my kids' graduation, which, it's not easy for me to get ready and to go out. So I had it at 2 times speed while I'm doing looking for makeup that I haven't put on in a month and a half and, fucking barely listening to the thing. And, what I did here, it was stuff from 2018 with her brother talking in code, exposing, and I'm like, that's something that I have always thought was so stupid. And her saying that she was thrown in the Twitter feed and her and I were cool at first, like, bitch, no, we were not cool. You reached out to, I forget what her name is now, and that, saying you were being harassed by Shangy and stuff, and that person told you that I had been through some attacks and harassment on Twitter, and that maybe you should talk to me. And that person reached out to me and said, can I give this person your phone number? And that's when you called me for the very first time, and you proceeded to tell me about Shangy, which I barely even knew who Shangy was, and that you were at Walmart and you were getting recognized because of you being on that show. And I asked you to send me the link to the show, and there was like 300 views on it, and you weren't even on camera. Then you proceeded to tell me that Oprah Winfrey's people reached out to you and wanted to do a movie, and you were writing a book. And I'm like, dude, this bitch is fucking nuts. Like, what the fuck? And you were talking to me about Bobby, having no idea what my relationship with Bobby was or how close we were. Same mistake Kelly Cole made. And Bobby ended up calling through. I was on the phone with you, and I told you it was my husband. And I clicked over and I said, Bobby, who the fuck is this Sharon Hensley chick? And he's like, oh my God, she contacted you too. He's like, get off the phone with her. So I came back and told you, oh, I gotta go. This is my husband, blah, blah, blah. Then she calls me back a couple days later and tells me that, ask my advice, that she's going to make a Facebook group about the abuse that she went through because her brother spoke in code on the fucking stream and exposed her abuse. And, what do I think about that? And I'm like, do what you got to do, girl. And so she did it. She sent me an invite. I joined, and I had told her, I have friends coming in from Illinois. They're my old camping friends. They're coming in with their son for a week. I'm going to be busy, because she was like blowing up my phone all the time. And I'm like, so, if I don't answer, that's why. And, of course, my friends come in town. She's blowing up my phone. I'm, silencing it all the time. And then, I spend the week with my friends. And then I literally forgot about her. And it was a few weeks later. And I think it was when I was going to court with Feldman, and I was at the hotel with Jackie, and I started talking to Jackie about it. And Jackie's like, oh my God, that lady reached out to me, and this is what she said to me. And so then I go to look, and I'm like, oh, she blocked me. I said, I'm not even in that group she threw me in or nothing. She must have got mad because I wasn't answering the phone. And like, that was the end of that, up until like however long later she tried to insert herself again, saying, because Sarah and I were going back at the time, and other people. She claimed that Sarah did this video at like 2-3 in the morning where she said, whatever the fuck it was. And we're like, okay, well, nobody else got a notification for it. Like, we got to find this video. We're not going to accuse Sarah of doing this video unless there's like some sort of proof of it, So Kimmy like worked with her for like 3 days trying to find some sort of evidence of this video, and of course never did. So we're like, well, we're not going to accuse Sarah of doing that. And then Sharon got all pissed off and, flipped and just was mad because we wouldn't accuse Sarah of something. We just wouldn't believe Sharon. And she's been psycho towards us ever since. Well, let me back that up, because then I did make peace with her at one time. And but then the next day she came into my chat and was like, what's up, bitches? Like, she's cool with everybody. And my phone instantly was blowing up, and people were like, Susie, I love you. I'm glad you guys made peace, but I'm not like, I can't be in a chat with her after everything she's done to everybody. So, like,
I was one of those people.
yeah,
I was one of those people. I
but
said, Susie, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
yeah. And Christina definitely wasn't the only person, but she's like, I can't do it. Like, you just made peace with her yesterday, and she's coming in there and acting like we're all best friends and stuff. So after that stream, I called Sharon and I said, Sharon, I'm really glad, that we were able to make peace and everything, but we need to give it some time before you come into my chat and hang out. There's a lot of people that are still upset about a lot of things, but time heals things. So if you could just lay low, give it some time, and then you can come into my chat, whatever, it'll be all good. And she fucking flipped out and went postal and has been a psychopath ever since. all
Mhm.
because I asked her just to chill and stay out of my chat for a little bit.
And I
Yep.
can 100% attest to all of this. And if Shannon is in the chat, she can too. Because me and Shannon, I think me and Shannon have been with Susie since day one. Day
Yep,
one.
Shannon says
Okay.
I remember all of this.
Yes, yeah. Joe's been around too. FYI, anybody in the chat interested or loves Led Zeppelin, because I love Led Zeppelin. I have seen them in concert. There's something on Netflix about Led Zeppelin. Actually just turned it on just now. So FYI, anybody love Led Zeppelin? There's something on Netflix. It's brand new. Okay, and then
Uh,
Brian Wilson died today too.
wait,
From
what?
Beach Boys. From Beach Boys, Brian
Oh,
Wilson, 82. He passed today. That's
oh
a big deal.
no.
I mean, and I
Yeah,
personally
and
never liked the Beach Boys.
I went
Yeah,
to
but
that Beach Boys tribute for the sleep
yeah,
filler thing.
yeah, that's a big hit. Losing him, and I even know that. That's a big deal, losing him. Yeah, he passed today.
Mm,
That's sad.
that is terrible.
Somebody asked JT, do you think Jamie has a secret son? I'm really torn on this. Yeah, I don't understand that whole situation. I don't
Hmm.
get it. Nor am I trying to understand it.
A secret
Uh,
son. Where's that at? Hold on, let me look. Sharon, Sharon.
someone left it in
It
your
was Eli
chat.
Stream. He's been trying to serve. He thinks Jamie lives
Oh,
with his parents, so he's been trying to get these papers served to Jamie at his mom and dad's house. And so I guess he tried to get him served again today. And the server told Eli something like a young kid answered the. I'm not sure really what the whole story was
He's
I
because
couldn't
I came in
between
imagine
late.
why
25
he would
and
keep it
35.
secret if he had a son.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
But then I heard that the paperwork was made out to John Doe, and that's why it's not legally served.
There you
So I
go.
don't know.
Yeah.
I
Who
guess we'd have
knows?
to watch Jamie's stream. Tammy says Sharon should have left you alone. Yeah, she should have. She thought she
No.
was going to be all protected by
Yeah.
Eli and found out tonight. Yeah, like just leave my fucking name out of your mouth. If you want to tell a story of what fucking happened 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, by all means say my fucking name. But don't sit there accuse me of paying people to do a fucking stream that, I wasn't even involved in, besides suggesting that they, listen again to that 4-hour stream I did and maybe take some clips from there. That's all I fucking said about that fucking stream. And accuse me and lie about, everything that we read tonight when anytime you said my name. Like, just leave me the fuck alone, Sharon, because unlike you, I am really fucking sick and dealing with health issues, and I have good days and I have bad days. And if I choose, if I choose to come on here when I'm having a good day, then that's what I fucking do. And it is what it is. And I haven't done that in 9 fucking months. And I have the right to come on here and talk to people that I have made friendships with over the years and everything like that. I have the right to come on here and address somebody like Eli when he's threatening me. I don't give a fuck about my channel or about, losing my channel or whatever else. I'm not you, Sharon. And like Sharon, you have your own channel. You say you sit there and you don't need an army to back you up, but yes, you do. You won't even go live on your own channel and say what you need to say. You got to go to somebody else's channel or into somebody else's chat. Yeah, you'll make your stupid community post and yada, 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 but you will never get on your channel and just fucking say what you need to say. I'll do it whether I have one person in my chat, 20 people in my chat, 30 people in my chat. It doesn't matter to me. If I got
She
something to
sure.
say, I say
You'll
it.
say it. Yeah, she sure did say it a lot. back from 2018 on with the girls, in the house. She made hundreds of channels, thousands of hours, you guys. We had a spreadsheet. Remember the spreadsheet? She went live in like 6 months. We had down like to the hour how long she had been live and how often she would go live. We had everything down, and that was a lot of the information
Oh, that
CPS got.
Excel spreadsheet is still
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, she went. It was nuts how crazy live. How many times she would go live,
And
and
she
how many
sits here and
hours she would
says,
spend.
oh, Susie's
She
done
was
8-hour
obsessed.
streams about me. No, we did 8-hour
No,
streams, but it wasn't all 8 hours. The 8 hours wasn't
not all
about
at
you.
once.
We
Right,
played
and it wasn't all at
games.
once either.
Yeah, we played games. We talked about other shit. Sharon, you've been live for 14 hours many times.
Yep.
And that's why I got you in court when I wasn't even prepared for it because I didn't think court was happening. Somebody had that Excel spreadsheet and they sent it to me, and I was like, okay, well, we have like 384 streams that you've done on here, but we don't have any, in 3 months. But it was more closer to like 500 streams. And you were like, no, it was like 600 streams in 2.5 months, which just made you
Mm-hmm.
look 100 times worse. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Okay,
So
dummy.
basically, now that you're bringing up that case, that was kind of like Tammy and Eli. Like Tammy had her shit together, and she was doing the same thing. She thought that court wasn't going to happen, so I think she was prepared, but I don't think like something was going on. It was kind of like the same situation with you and Sharon, and Eli came in doing the Tammy was harassing his family and off and offline and online, and the judge asked him a few times, well, what are the instances? Like, can you give me what was she doing to your family? Eli couldn't say nothing. Actually, at one point, he acted like he was crying, and the judge says, "Do you need a minute?" And he said, "Yeah, I need a minute." And he was pretending like he was crying. And then another time during this court case, what the fuck else did he do? Oh, so Tammy had witnesses, and so after the judge got both the statements from the witnesses, he asked Eli, "Do you want to question her witnesses?" Nope,
Mm.
didn't have a thing to say. Patty or Anna, and you remember how much the shit he did to Anna. He did a lot of bad shit to Anna and her kids.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't have a thing to say to the both of them. So it was the same thing, like Eli fucked himself. Like the minute he opens his mouth, he sinks his own ship. Sharon's the same way. They're
That's
both the same way.
that's exactly what happened with Sharon. But she
Yep.
did have a really good lawyer. But Sarah, I believe, had made like an hour tape of. Hold on a second, I gotta mute.
JT, you never saw that, did you?
What's that?
The court case with Eli and Tammy. It was
No, I did.
it was I'm gonna just say videotaped, whatever. I'm old school. It was recorded. It was hilarious. So when he goes on these walks and he
Hmm.
plays judge in his head and he puts on these little skits like the judge is gonna say this and I'm gonna say objection, judge, and he does these little skits on his walks. Dude, once he got into court, he turned into a pussy. A grown man trying to get an OR on a lady in her late 50s in Florida. Okay.
Alright,
And
sorry.
he acted like he was crying when the judge was like, well, what the fuck? What was she doing to your family? And he asked him a few times, and Eli, he couldn't come back with like, well, she did this or he couldn't come back with anything. And then there's
Yeah, she
something
didn't do
else that he
anything.
did. God, there was something
That
else that, oh, yes.
No, I'm just saying that's how it was with Sharon too.
Yeah.
That she accused me of harassing her kids and stuff, and I was able to question Sharon. And I'm like, okay, you said today when you were testifying earlier that I've harassed your kids and have said, death threatened your kids. Do you have any evidence towards that? And then she, being Sharon, would just go on a rant. and be like, "Oh, Susie, you know what you did." Da, 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 da. And like I was on Zoom and I literally just had my, elbow on the table and my head tilted on my, hand on my, and I just let her freaking talk, and the judge had said a couple times, "Miss Hensley, you're not the one to ask questions. Miss Rostek is the one to ask questions now." And, she buried herself. And the whole reason why I didn't get a continuance is because Sarah had traveled from Washington to be her witness, and my witnesses came up. I believe it was like Brutally Lauren, actually, and Deidre or somebody, or I forget who exactly. Kelly Cole was supposed to be there, but of course, and I wasn't even going to call her at that point. And, the judge was like, "I see you have another witness here." And Kelly was saying she was having a hard time getting on. And I'm like, "Your Honor, it's okay. I know court's gone longer." And she's just going to say the same thing that my other witnesses have said. So it's okay. We don't need to call her. So then I thought, her lawyer was going to call up Sarah. And like her lawyer seriously reminded me of Johnny Depp's female lawyer. And
Oh, I loved her. Oh,
I
tell him
know,
about the
like
kids. Tell him about the kids.
oh yeah. So, the lawyer's like, "No, I don't have any witnesses to call, Your Honor. But however, the kids are out in the hallway with somebody, and if you'd like to talk to them in your chambers, you could speak to them there." And the judge was like, "I'm sorry, the children are out in the hallway?" And she's like, "Yes, Your Honor. And you could talk to them in your chambers." And he's like, "How old is the oldest one?" And she goes, I think it was 15 or 16, Jordan was at the time. And the judge just looked absolutely disgusted. And he said, "No, no, I don't want to talk to the kids in my chambers about this. My kids, if I like, they would have no idea what to fucking say. Absolutely at all. Like, they barely even fucking know Sharon's name, never mind the situation." And
Well,
she
you
had those
should be
kids skip
taking your
school
kids from shit.
because
She's
to
sitting
try to
there.
be a witness for her. And with no
Yeah,
evidence, again, no fucking evidence.
she's exposing them instead of protecting them. That's why he was disgusted. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh
Why
yeah,
she would
and I've said
she would
this
want to know
before. I
anyway?
was actually scared because before the case, the lawyer had asked me like 3 or 4 times if I would be willing to agree to a mutual RO. And I told her, with anybody else, I'd probably tell you yes. But with Miss Hensley, I'm going to have to say no because she blames me for anything that happens to her on the internet. And I don't want to be dragged to court once a week for the next 2 years because, she thinks anybody that leaves her a comment is me. And halfway through the court proceeding, after they played the video Sarah made, which was just clips of me making fun of Sharon, saying stuff like, "What are you going to do about it, eyebrows?" And the lawyer asking, "Is that you, Miss Rostek?" And I was like, "Yep, that's me." And whatever. So then the judge asked me before I was started my questioning. He's like, "Miss Rostek, I just have to ask you, would you be willing to agree to a mutual RO?" And I told the judge the same thing I had told the lawyer. And I said, the lawyer had asked me, and this is how I feel about it, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, "Okay." And so, the whole time Sharon was going on her rants and stuff, I'm thinking, "Oh my God, is that going to come back and bite me in my ass? Like, should I have just agreed to it? Is he going to think this? Da 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 da." And, what if I just kept thinking the whole time, what if that comes and bites me back in the ass? But it did not, because he saw how fucking nuts she was. And he was so over it. He was so over it. And again, I wasn't asked to provide one piece of evidence. Um, That was something I said when he didn't allow me to have a continuance. I said, Your Honor, I haven't even been informed how I submit, my proof that I have or screenshots and videos. And he's like, that's okay. If we get to that, we'll get to that. And, we'll deal with it. And I was like, okay. And, we didn't even have to get to that because he could tell I was being truthful. And
Yeah.
anytime she opened her mouth, she was not. And
You want to know what the
so,
judge said to Eli after he heard everything, especially after Anna? After Anna got done testifying about everything Eli had done to her, and at the very end of the trial, the judge says, maybe, basically YouTube is stupid. And, pretty much, Eli, you brought it upon yourself. He's like, Mr. Mellis, like, she's got the clip out there, but he says, like, Mr. Mellis, it's said in scriptures something along the lines of you reap what you sow.
yeah.
Judgment dismissed with prejudice. So, and then Eli kept trying to bring up past stuff from their first case, and the judge kept saying, "Nope, you can't bring that up. Nope, that judgment's already
Mhm.
been. You can't keep bringing it up. You can't keep bringing it up." And then Eli keeps saying that like Tammy made death threats, which she never did. And so he says this to the judge, and the judge says, "Okay, where's your proof? What did she say? Where is it at?" And Eli couldn't provide it because he didn't have anything. And then he brought up Josh. Well, she has Josh come on her channel and he'll say stuff. And he goes, yeah, that's Josh saying it. It's not Tammy. What does Tammy say? And he didn't have any comeback. So it was like the same thing.
Yeah,
Like
I've
he
never
had no
heard
proof to
that.
nothing. Yeah. Tammy's never sent Eli any kind of threats, but he still
No.
says it to this day that Tammy threatened him, but so and he won't go talk about court because she owned him in court. And yeah, she called non-emergency on Dawn because we had not seen her in like a month. And so Tammy got her hand slapped for calling on the cops for a wellness check. The judge did kind of go off on her a little bit about that. And then she sent a couple of his family members like subpoenas through emails, and she didn't know she could do that. She couldn't do that. So the judge kind of said something to her about that. But other than that, nope. Eli had
I
no
didn't
proof
even
to get
know
an
they went
OR.
to court for a second time.
Yeah,
See?
Eli tried to get an OR on her, and
Oh,
it got
Jesus.
dropped. So yeah, Tammy's like 3 for 0. Like every time he takes her to court, Tammy wins. It's like you and Tammy are like the same.
Well,
Mhm.
look, fucking Eli's gonna lose. Look at this. This is Mystery Science Theater. This is all the way back in the day. They play the whole fucking movie and they give commentary, and all you see is their little shadows at the bottom, and they're just talking away and doing their
Oh, I
thing
used
Well,
to watch
Larry, I
this.
guess I better get going.
and talking shit. And these
Yeah.
are all, copyrighted material. And so because they have all a little bit, they're playing that fucking movie and they're giving commentary and everything. This is called fair use.
Now, I was in a chat just yesterday, a true crime channel that I follow, and we were doing something for Matthew Shepard for Gay Pride Month, and if we all remember, and back in 1998, Matthew Shepard was beat up by two boys in Montana, I think it was Laramie. Where was it at? Goddamn, Wyoming. It was in Wyoming, and they tied him to the fence, and he was out there for 18 hours. So I went on and talked for a few and said, "Hey, because I was a lot older than the people that were there, so they don't remember how AIDS came about, and it was gay cancer and the stigma and Ronald Reagan and the presidency, and how nobody helped the AIDS, pandemic." And
Mm.
I gave out a couple movies, and the band played on HBO. That's a great show to watch. That shows the progression of how AIDS came about. And she played God, what was it? It was a Matthew. It was on HBO Max, but she was able to find it on YouTube, and we watched it all together. And that's actually a good movie too to watch. Oh God. It's like, oh God, it's a play that they made after Matthew, after he was killed. I can't think of what angels, something about angels, but HBO did a thing about that too. But she played the whole thing, and HBO did not strike her not once, and she was surprised. She goes, "If HBO strikes this, we'll find another movie to play."
Right.
And she did commentary, and that's HBO, you guys. But Eli is gonna sue Jamie for $150,000 for showing a minute and 20 seconds
No,
of a clip.
I think Eli
Oh,
knows. Eli has to know that he's going to lose all these suits. He's going to lose everything. I think he knew that he was going to lose against Tammy. I really do. I think his entire purpose is to call them into court and just waste their time. That's
And
what I
that's what the
think.
judge said. And that's exactly what that judge said to him. He said, "This was all a waste of our time. This court case was a waste of everybody's time." And Eli's the one who went for it. He was the one who asked for the RO.
I think he's just taking people to court to waste their time and to do all that. And he's counting on the fact that you don't want to waste your time doing that.
well, yeah, and that's what I was like when I triggered him that night, unbeknownst to me, that he was going to get triggered like that. And then he's like, "Counter sue me so I can sue you, Susie. I'm going to take you to federal court for $150,000." And then, his post, every single one of his posts every 3 hours was like, "Jamie, sue me, sue me. Yeah, I'm gonna sue you." And it's like,
Dude,
dude,
he does that every other
fucking,
day, Susie. He spurgs on his community wall like every other day. He'll just go boom, 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 and just spit him out. He gets so fucking triggered. But ever since you streamed him, he does that now, where he'll go offline and look for restreams. So he's starting to do that every time he goes live.
oh yeah. And then now how you just told me, I didn't know that Sharon told him I was streaming him on TikTok. That's fucking hilarious, actually. Because I could restream him on TikTok and there's not a goddamn thing he could do about it. Anybody could. Because TikTok just doesn't work that way. But again, that's just Sharon making up lies and listening to voices in her head and her just starting shit when shit doesn't need to be started. And again, didn't he tell her and Dawn not to mention if somebody was restreaming him? And yet she did it again, apparently, when it wasn't even true.
Mm.
Eli, if I was restreaming you on TikTok, the post would be on my community wall.
But I think Eli knows that he doesn't have a fucking leg to stand on legally because he has to know. And
No, I think he
years and
really
years.
thinks he does. The way he
There's no
talks
way.
about it, JT, about federal court and this court and that, like, I really think he's that delusional that he thinks he does have a leg to stand on. I mean, I don't even know because again, I haven't been around. So what is he taking Jamie to court exactly for? Copyright infringement? So what? I'm assuming Jamie was restreaming him or no. Wasn't it something about a picture turned into a roach? I don't even fucking know.
I
Does
don't know either.
anybody in the chat know or
But no matter what
Christina?
Jamie does, the shit he's done
I'm
for
sorry.
years is all legal.
It is.
Everything Jamie's done is legal.
Okay, so you know his goofy ass picture that he puts on everything that he had professionally taken in like 2008 or whatever, the goofy one with the blue polo and the hat. He's copyrighted that picture. So if anybody uses his copyrighted, visual,
Um,
his picture and puts it on anything, he strikes you down. So there was like a little like AI little
the,
roach, and somebody put his face on that roach. So he copy struck that because it's an AI roach and his face is on it. So he's suing. That's the second lawsuit that he's filed on Jamie was that. And then this one that he just served, or he served whoever, whatever. This one is for like, I think a minute and a half of some stream that Jamie had. That I don't know if it shows his face or he's talking or a live stream. I don't know, but it's a minute and a half or a minute and 20 seconds. And he's suing him and is going to take all of his parents' money and the house. Like he's going to take George's house too, if you restream him. So that's what I
It's
believe it too.
not only
He really
George's
thinks,
house.
I know, but that's what he
Yeah,
said. But
I
that's what I'm
know.
saying. JT, he really thinks he's gonna win. You got to listen to his walks. He'll do a whole courtroom session in his head, and he'll play the court. He'll play the judge. He plays the jury. He plays witnesses. He'll do a whole skit, and it's just him. And we're just dying.
Just
And
from the last 2 weeks I've watched JT, I'm like, this guy has lost his fucking mind more than ever.
But it's not up to a court to decide. I mean, here's the thing: is there is president, and there is law in place. And the thing is that no, he doesn't have a legal leg to stand. This is a frivolous lawsuit, just like it was against Tammy before, and he told.
Right.
And I think that he's very aware of that. There's no way he could be ill of that. He
We all
probably,
know that.
I mean, he's probably got it. When you go to a lawyer and you say, "Hey, whatever,"
oh,
what your chances
okay.
are, and what your legal, if you got a
And
leg
he
to stand
doesn't
on or
even
not.
have a real lawyer. He's got this online thing where he pays $9.99 a month that they give him advice, and then he can pay $40 for somebody to get served. But with me, when he took my channel, he, striked it. He was like, "Okay, Susie, if you file a counterclaim, then I'm going to immediately file a lawsuit on you tonight. And then if you don't, accept the service, then it's going to federal court for $150,000. And I'm going to get that $150,000 and it's federal court." And he truly believes what the fuck's
Yes.
coming out of his mouth,
Yeah.
JT. 1,000,000 fucking percent.
Okay.
And
No,
I'm like, do you
there's no way
understand
he
how
is that.
crazy and
Okay.
insane you sound? All
Okay.
I'd have to say is, Your Honor, I've been sick. I'm disabled. I've been on hospice. I haven't spoken of this man in over a year. I was informed that he had made threats against me. Here are the threats. I simply was recording him from my bed in case he made more threats against me, and blah, 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 blah. And, it would be done and over with. Okay, maybe
Okay.
I'll get a slap on the hand because I was
Yeah.
restreaming him. But that's a YouTube thing.
But and then he also thinks, okay, give me 2 seconds, you guys. He honestly says this, you guys, that Jamie has stolen for 6 or 7 years he really thinks it's over $500,000 from him. But he'll only go after him for 200,000. But he honestly thinks that Jamie has been on YouTube for 6 years, restreaming Eli, and has made that kind of money. But
Yeah, no, nobody believes that.
he'll only sue him for like 200 or $150,000. He honestly thinks Jamie has made that kind of money, and if it wasn't for Jamie, he would have made that money. And Jamie stood in his way of making that money, and he really thinks it.
Nobody watches Eli for Eli.
No,
You know what I mean? Uh, People will watch somebody making fun of Eli. They'll watch that because it's funny, and they're funny and intelligent, and it pays off. But the idea that anybody will watch Eli for Eli, it's just going to happen. And Eli's never really gotten that. He's watched
no, he has
people
not.
that have sat there and made fun of him make all this money, and he just can't
Hmm.
figure out why he can't make
And and he thinks that money should be going to him. He doesn't understand. I'm like, people want to donate to Jamie. They want to donate to Tammy and to Susie because you guys are likable. People like you. No one likes Eli. No one has ever liked Eli. He's come out here. He's been nasty. He's been arrogant. He has bragged about how rich his parents are and how he's going to come into all this money when his mommy dies. He has the nastiest, grossest personality I think I've ever seen in a human.
Yeah.
No one likes him. And he's never going to be YouTube famous. He's never going to make any money out here. I don't know why he quit that job or stick with, go back to retail. But he is straight, just not working, 55 years old, living at his mommy's house, not doing a goddamn thing, got a drunk ass girlfriend, moved her ass in, not doing nothing but picking fights on YouTube and trying to sue folks. That's what this guy does. This is all he does.
Yeah. And any judge that, makes let's just say between 150 to $250,000, and's got Eli coming before him and being like, Your Honor, I've lost $200,000 because Jamie Theory has restrained me and gotten donations for restraining me. So that's why I'm suing him for $200,000. Is going to fucking laugh him out of that fucking courtroom so fast. And Christina, we might just have to go to that court date, or if you can be there, baby.
Yeah, I can fly down.
Yeah.
I can fly
Yeah.
anywhere. I can fly anywhere I want.
No,
There's
you
one thing that the
girl.
judge did. The judge said, because Eli told the judge that Tammy calls him a cuck. And the judge said, well, Tammy or Miss Hess, or he said, could you try to not call him a cuck? And Tammy said, Your Honor, I'll try. I'll try to not call him a cuck. That actually was fucking said, you guys. I just thought of that. Dude, he straight said, Tammy calls me a cuckold.
That's hilarious.
It is funny.
Yeah, I gotta listen to that shit sometime. But dude, today I haven't had that rage in a minute, man. But I was like, oh my God, I can't take another word of him. And I felt bad. I kept trying to wait for the restraint to be over, but it was like it kept going and going and going and going. And you know me, I've never been able to listen to that guy every day. Never mind 2-3 hours in the same day. I literally took a nap while he was streaming for an hour and a half. And I'm like, oh my God. I had, the restream going on, listening to it. And I was just like, I cannot believe. I checked my phone. I'm like, am I on live? Like, is it live or is it behind? And I saw it was live still. I was like, oh my God, I can't fucking do this. And then I still was trying to wait and wait and wait, but I was like, I am going to punch a hole in a wall. Like, I can't do it. Yeah, it's hilarious. He's yelling at Sharon and shit. But as soon as he's done with that, it's back to the same stupid shit. Then he's got to deal with ODN's crying and his fucking temper tantrums. And then,
I'm reading the chat, and Patty did bring up some of the advice that Eli gives, like meeting strange men in Safeway parking lots for dates that you meet online. And if people are depressed in your life that have like chronic depression or just going through some depression, to get rid of them because they're bad people to have around you, like they're dead weight, and to drop them. You don't need people like that in your life. I'm just reading her comment and I remembered that. And the judge told him that his advice was stupid and ridiculous. And women should not be meeting men in parking lots and Safeway on dates or people they meet on like dating sites. He's like, that's the most ridiculous and stupid advice I've ever heard. And this guy was like an older man. And he was like, even at my age, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, I got breaking news. Breaking news. Sharon's made a post since we've been live, but she doesn't watch us.
Mm-hmm.
So say what you want. Lying gets you nowhere. I know the game. I know the players. I know this was intentional. I was sent info that Sarah did this on purpose. I'm not the only one that knew what she was doing when she first came after me, or when she first came after me with that comment about my past, who got me pregnant, having a child, have nothing to do with Eli's court case. She absolutely did come at me first. I saw Susie's sock account in there telling Dawn to show her what I have. Oh, what sock account was that, Sharon? Because I literally don't have a fucking sock account. So again, do what the fuck you say. I don't. I don't have a fucking sock account. I'd be live on it if I fucking did. Like I said, I saw it. ODN saw it. Sunshine saw it. I know the game. Shiro. Shiro. I don't know what word that word. The game Shiro. I don't know. Is trying to play too. I met you way before Dana and her situation. I have seen everything you said. You want to try to play nice with me in Eli's chat, and once you thought I was gone, which I could still see it, lol, you immediately started trashing me and made up a lie saying Sharon said cars were following her. Nope, never said that. Why are you in the enemy's chat asking about me or wanting to know more about me? If you want to know about me, then come to me. These people aren't me, and you going over there lying about me doesn't make you look good. Just saying. Who the fuck is she talking about?
I have no idea.
Ugh. I love when Christina twists everything that I said in his chat. You pathetic clowns can't try to rewrite history and lie all you want to. It's the same people, the same shit. And to Sunshine, thank you for your support. Thank you for having my back. Thank you, ODN, because you saw what was going on. I didn't derail his stream. I did not make anyone leave. They saw what was going on and they left. Sharon, you
Nobody
made it
left
all
because he
about
didn't have anybody
you.
in his stream. And he
Right.
got botted too. Okay, sorry.
These people have nothing better to do than to recycle, rewrite history, lie, make up shit for content. How sad. And oh, God forbid I have a life and do things, lol. Sharon, how are you proving to us that you have a life? You're doing the same exact shit you've done all over the years. You're making up shit. You're saying I have a sock account. You're talking about somebody that's in Eli's chat that came to my chat. Who the fuck you talking about? Like, you're fucking insane. Oh, and you knew what Sarah was gonna do before Sarah did it, and da 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 da. Like, oh my god, this bitch, I can't. Okay. And
Oh
oh,
no.
God forbid I have a life and do things, lol. I don't need to post pics of my body or post my medical records to prove what I have to Susie Manson and her flying old Karens of YouTube. I never asked you to post any of that, Sharon. I simply said nobody fucking believes you. You can't even fucking say what disease or what diagnosis you supposedly have. You never been
Didn't the
able to.
judge didn't the judge ask her what was wrong with her and she couldn't even explain in court
Yep,
with Damien what was wrong with
yep,
her?
100%. Speaking of life things, I'm going out tomorrow, going out to eat. I love how she says, I don't need to tell you guys anything to do, but tomorrow I'm going to go out. I'm going to go to fucking Chili's. Woo! I'm going to go to Applebee's. Woo! Going to see the ballerina movie, then do some shopping. Go ahead and talk about that. I'll make sure to give a full review of the movie so you guys can discuss Sharon going out because she has a life. Weirdos.
No, we'll
And
discuss
see.
you molesting your kids. That's what we'll discuss. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about that all day long. We'll talk
Yeah.
about you not feeding your kids. We'll
Sharon,
talk about you not buying them clothes.
you saying I have a sock account is a criminal offense. So I'm going to call the police and report that, and you're going to have charges on you. Because to your logic, that's a criminal offense. So I guess that's what I have to do because you lied about something about me and said something that's true, not true on YouTube. And, according to you, again, that's a criminal offense. So I guess I need to call the police and report that. Yeah. Again,
Yes,
Sharon,
she
what's the
molested her children.
Oh,
God damn, how do you not know that, Sherry? Romy, motherfucker.
yeah. I want to know
I
what
think
stock
that
account
person.
I supposedly
Wait a
have.
minute. The person in the chat. Were you in Eli's chat earlier? Is that? I think your
Yeah,
name looks familiar to me. So they're
yeah,
over
she was.
here.
I don't know. I
Okay,
gave
well, if
her a
they're
red
over
just a
here,
second.
hey, you know what? You're getting, and this is just a real quick going down
Yeah.
like a couple inches into the rabbit hole. This hole goes deep. Okay, there's
Oh
way more
yeah.
we could talk about. This goes. We're just at the surface level. Okay, this hole goes very deep.
Well, hey, she pulled the butthole hairs out of her own child's ass. Waxed her daughter's butthole when
Yeah,
she was real
yeah, dude.
young.
I'm
Yeah.
reading what this person's saying. Yeah, this is the real shit. We and Susie have been around this bitch since 2018. Okay, and
Yeah.
we're seeing stuff that she's put out there. None of this is made up. This is not made up drama. This is for real.
If you want receipts, go. It's my second video that's on my channel, I believe. It's
Yeah.
called the end of Sharon Hensley 5 minutes, like 4 hours and 15
I-
minutes.
I'm keeping
Yeah.
communication open with people, in Eli's chat or what they are supporting here. So yeah, I gave Sharima over here a wrench, and I want her to listen up to what the fuck she's, you know, this is the person that Eli support and you're supporting.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the person that
Go
Eli's
into that
supporting.
chat.
This is the
I want you to
person.
know,
Go on,
who you're
JT.
fucking hanging out with.
Yeah.
This is the person. Yeah.
Eli is dirty, girl. I don't know who you person, human. Eli's some dirty shit. Sharon and Eli and somebody else were trying to get. They were trying to contact this guy, and they sent him Uber Eats. They sent him like to McDonald's to make sure that's where he lived. And then once they found out where he lived, all three of them were going to call 911 and call a SWAT on him and get the cops to come to the house doing this person's on a live stream. He's talking about unliving himself. Somebody saw a pew pew. Eli said Eli lied and said he called to sound like a woman. The other person said they had a friend call, and so later on, Sharon had her daughter call at like 5:30 in the morning. But the daughter said one of our friends' name, so that friend was able to get that FOIA call. We've got that call, and it is 100% Sharon's kid
Yeah.
because they wanted to find out where this person was
It's
because
not
Eli had it in his head this person was stalking him. And it wasn't. It was just some man that nobody knows. That's not even online. Sharon's called a welfare check on our friend Lauren.
Yeah, and the person's dog almost got shot, and it wasn't Sharon's kid's fault. It's Sharon's fault for putting the kid up to it.
Yeah, I didn't mean it was her fault. She was still young.
Yeah,
But Sharon woke this little girl up at because the call was made 5:30 Tennessee time. I don't know if Tennessee and Florida are the same. They might be on the same whatever time frame, whatever. I don't know, but woke the kid up to make this SWAT call. And you could hear Sharon in the background coaching her on what name to say and where this person was calling from. And she said Seattle. And it's just nuts, dude. Like I said, this goes deep.
Yeah. I didn't even see a sock account in Eli's chat, but again, I took a nap and I wasn't paying attention. I couldn't
There
see
was a
his
few.
chat on
There was a
the
few that
replay.
came in,
Yeah.
but I mean, not much.
Yeah, I don't have a fucking sock account. And any sock account I used to have to go into Eli's chat was blocked. That's why, I've had to ask people, like when I was restreaming him last week, and I wanted someone to go in there and say that I was restreaming. I had to ask somebody to go in there and say it because I don't
I've
have.
actually been to her house. I've actually met her in person, and she's a crazy bitch, and she has very, very There was major issues there.
Yeah. Yep. So again, she just needs to leave me the fuck alone. Now she's accusing me of more shit. Hold on, I'm getting messages behind the theme.
I'm reading the chat.
Yes.
Eli knows
Well,
exactly. Sharoma, Sharoma. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Eli knows everything about Sharon. He's known her just as long. Maybe we probably knew her a year before we met Eli. So Eli knows everything about Sharon. He knows.
Hello.
He's at. He's. What you got? What you got?
Oh, nothing, nothing. I'm gonna
Okay.
message you guys in the private chat. But go ahead.
I have people in the backstage that are.
You do. I see that.
It looks like they got torn up and shit.
It says play the video.
I'd be careful.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on, let me get this message to you guys
It looks like a vagina. To me, it looked like a vagina.
Yeah, don't fucking risk your channel. Again, who's Jackson Hutt? But fuck, I didn't know somebody else was back there. But read the comment I just wrote real quick, guys.
I got it. Yeah, I don't know who that person is. I don't even see a link to anything, so fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, I can't even delete that account.
I don't know who's Jackson.
Yeah.
I bet you it's something nasty.
Yeah.
It looks like a vagina.
It's probably one of Sharon's nudes.
Well, I was
Who wants to
told
see that again? I'm good, thank you.
I was told that those couple channels make really bad videos too, so just gotta be careful and protect ourselves and our
We got to
channel.
protect GT.
Huh?
I mean, they're getting pretty persistent.
Yeah. Eli likes anyone who doesn't like Jamie and Tammy. Oh, exactly. Why is Sharon being so mean to me? I can't believe she wrote all that.
Because that's how
What did
she
she
is.
say about you? Is she accusing you of being the sock account? That's me? I don't.
Hey, that could be silicone. How many people does
Oh,
silicone pay today? JT doesn't even know who silicone is, do ya?
Who's silicone?
Silicone is the person that Eli's got it in his head that pays everybody to go at him. Remember Nice White Owl, Brian? How Brian paid everybody to go at Eli? Well, now Eli thinks there's another person out there that got some big inheritance from his family and pays Tammy and Janie and Susie and everybody else to make videos about Eli or restrain him. So that's what he thinks. He thinks people do this and they get paid a whole bunch of money. He can't
Silicone in. I
fathom
need to
that
talk.
people do this for free. Oh, look at Silicone Shannon. That's why everybody has silicone in their name. Nobody has to be paid to go at Eli. No, they don't, hon.
Oh, did we lose JT?
Let me see. Yeah, he jumped out. Maybe he's
He'll come
coming
back.
back in.
I don't know why he's been roboting so bad, but
Sometimes I
JT
think it's his
left to
internet.
call. JT left to call Silicone to get on the payroll. Right? I need to
Yeah,
be
he
on the
wants to get his
fucking
money.
payroll.
Yeah.
Can somebody
Yeah,
hit up my cash
honestly,
app?
you want to know what he said? There was a couple. There was two guys. They were in the gig community. Now, see, this is when you weren't around, and they were Pedro and Hannibal, and they were like friends, like you and I are friends, and they would do videos together. And Eli got it in his head that Silicone paid these guys $1,000 to make a couple videos about him because they
Uh,
just thought Eli was the biggest joke. And he honestly has it in his head, like the Caw family and the Caw kids and the Caws were following him at the park. He's got it in his head that this man named Silicone is paying people ridiculous amounts of money to restream him. I mean, there
unbelievable.
is there is a person out there named Silicone,
Right.
and Tammy knows this person, but this person isn't paying people hundreds and thousands of dollars to go at Eli. We do it for
I
free.
know. Yeah, I wish someone would fucking pay me that amount of money. Fuck, I'd be on here every day. I would have never left.
There we
Is
go.
JT coming? There he is. There he
Oh yeah, yeah.
is.
I don't
I
restream
think
Eli
my
because,
battery on my headset is low. That's my problem.
oh, maybe that's why you were
Yeah,
roboting.
we've been on here quite a while too, though.
Well, I didn't charge it. I haven't used it in so long. I haven't charged it for shit. So.
Okay, JT, I'm not going to ask how old your daughter is. I'm not going to ask anything personal, but how is she? That's all I want to know.
Huh?
How is your daughter?
Oh, which one?
The one that was living with you, the younger one that was living
Younger.
My
with
youngest?
you?
My youngest?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, your
She's
youngest.
good.
Is
She's
she
good.
still in school or did she graduate?
Oh no, she's still in school.
Okay, now mine graduated. Mine graduated a couple of years ago.
She's not gonna
My
graduate for like
youngest.
another three
So
years.
she's still pretty young, huh? Yeah, my
Yeah.
oldest or my youngest turned 20 in March. And then my oldest, she's like 33. Actually, she'll be 33 Friday.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they grow up
Yeah.
quick.
Real quick. You know, that's another thing. JT, I have never even told you, but Christina and Barb and a couple other people know. Like, there was serious medical stuff going on with my daughter. She tested positive for lupus and like four or five other autoimmune diseases, and
Oh
so we
wow.
were dealing with all that on top of dealing with my health issues and all that. And again, that's something that Sharon would come on here and be like, my daughter's dying. She's almost dying. She tested positive for lupus and this and that. Poor
Right.
me. Feel sorry for me. Oh, but I'm out living my best fucking life because I signed my rights over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh, but tomorrow she could go out and go to some crappy restaurant and have dinner and go shopping. But 3, 4 years ago, she couldn't do that with her kids, and her kids
Right.
deserved that. But now she can because she's working and she has no kids and no responsibilities. But she helped her daughter through cancer when she was a baby, and she wants to be patted on the back for that. I'm
Right.
never going to forget that. I got to go back and reread that community post because I'm tripping over that still. Who does
Mm.
that?
She's a weirdo. Straight up. She's just crazy.
Anna, I'd love to have a conversation with you then when you have a minute. How did Sharon fit in 200 men with two daughters? Because she doesn't pay attention to, she never paid attention to her daughters.
Hmm.
Joe, I can't believe you just fucking asked that. I swear to God, if you were in front of me right now, I'd punch you in your eye, okay? You really gonna ask that? All the hours and hours she spent just on Shangy alone for months?
Oh my God. And yeah, and then he
Jesus.
was obsessed with Bobby and
God, Bobby and
Rossi
Shangy and
Bushman and
yes.
any
Who
fucking
else?
man. Al
JT. I'm sorry,
Capone.
JT.
Yeah,
You're lumped into that. I'm sorry.
JT, Al Capone. I mean,
I remember him. I liked him. I
so
liked
did
that guy.
I. So did I. I liked him a lot. And all these men did was fuck with her, just like
Yeah, I
JT
did
did.
on my own stream. You got me, D.
You know, they just fucked with her to fuck with her, and it fucking worked.
Well, there's no
Okay, but
way
you know
she ever
what?
should have had kids in her home.
Even though
No,
I wanted
never.
to kick JT's ass that time, but
I know that was
Yeah.
bad, dude. But Matt Ossie, you got to give it to him. He made her have sex with a carrot.
yeah.
Okay, the guy made her have
Yeah.
sex with vegetables and filmed it. Okay,
That's true.
Yeah.
that guy got her to do a lot of shit.
He
But
did.
he's a loser prick pin dick too. Sorry, I don't like that
Oh
guy. But
no,
yeah, he did.
he is a piece of shit. He's totally a piece
Yeah.
of shit. But you know what? That was the only female that he could get to act crazy dumb like that. Because any other woman would have never done even a third of that bullshit. But Sharon sure did.
Right.
She felt hooked. Like she sent him money. Remember? She
Yeah.
sent that fucker some money too.
Yeah. She sure did.
Oh my god, the email about Sharon. Yeah, that was good shit. Oh, Lord.
You know, she sent him part of that 7K she got for child support.
Dude,
And
it was so
I'm sure
stressful.
she got money from that dude's tax return this year, just like she's
Oh,
gotten it
probably,
every
yeah.
fucking year. Yep.
Yeah.
That was so fucking stressful being
Yeah.
in that home.
JT did run from Sharon's house like he was escaping prison.
Oh my god, yeah, he did.
Fucking called
She
me
got pissed.
and I was like, what the fuck are you doing there? Are you out of your goddamn mind, JT? And he's like, yes, I am. I don't know why I came here. He's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. You got to help me. So him and I sat on the phone for over an hour while she was throwing a temper tantrum in the bathroom to Percy because he was on the phone with me so long. And then he fucking bolted out of there. Dude, do
Yeah,
I
no
have a
shit.
bird in my garage? What the fuck's
That
going
bitch was straight up nuts. Look, it was so stressful, and it didn't get like where there was times of less stress. It just got progressively worse from the moment I walked through the door till I left. If that
Hey,
makes
you
sense.
know what? You
Can you
did
go into
say
more
that your
detail?
PTSD got kicked up bad. Remember? You did say that too, JT. And I ain't
Yeah.
fucking around. You did say that. Be totally honest.
Can you go into more detail about exactly what you mean by that, JT?
Huh?
Can you go into more detail about exactly what you mean by that, like and how it got worse and
Like
what
it's
was
so
going on?
hard to process it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you get there and you're like, okay, cool, and then like she's just so wound up. It's like a child with on crack or something. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
dealing with this very hyperactive child or something, and it's just so, and she's so worked up about shit, and she's so upset, constantly 24/7. The emotional stability just is zero. You know, and the constant stress and stress and stress, and then you try to say, and like Eli is saying, you repeat the same. She's constantly repeating the same dumb shit. Well, this happened, that happened. You pin her down and you say, you need to let this go and start processing and moving on. Basically, and you try to nail her down on that, and then she goes right back into, well, you didn't have this and that and the other happen or whatever, and then it's just this buildup of the reintroduction of all this stress. You know what I mean? And it's just constant, never ending.
Well, and weren't you like begging her to
Yeah,
like a
oh,
fucking
absolutely.
animal to stop talking about me? And even when you guys were talking about Messenger, what we counted, she said my name over 400 times in 2 months in your Messenger messages.
Yeah, it was
With you
ridiculous.
begging her to stop mentioning my name.
Hmm. I mean, well, it came down whenever I stopped talking to her altogether. I said, if you say Susie one more fucking time, bitch, one more time, that name is banned. We don't say that name ever again. Don't ever say that name again. If you say it again, I'm fucking cutting your ass off. And next word out of her mouth was Susie. You know what I mean?
Right.
I clicked that shit off. I didn't talk to her no more. I said, because the obsession is just so hard and so real. I mean, we've all tried to help her at one point or another and just couldn't because she will not
Right.
let anything go.
No,
And it's
she
just
will
this
not.
overwhelming stress and everything. I don't know.
Yeah. It's insanity.
Oh, it
She's called the
absolutely is.
cops to Susie's house 3 times. You guys,
Yeah,
for newbies in the chat, yeah. She called the cops to Susie's house 3 times, and all 3 of the cops said, she's fucking psycho. She's fucking weird. We could not get anywhere with her. We tried to explain to her the lady's not doing anything wrong. It's YouTube drama. Nope. Still
right.
sent them to her house.
She sent the cops to my house at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday
Mm-hmm.
morning. And my daughter answered the fucking door because she claimed the night before that I was showing her tatas online. And the guy, I was like, "Are you serious?" I said, "No." She did send pictures of her breasts to somebody. I said there was a new person that popped in my chat and had no idea who she was. And when he came up on my panel, I, made a joke saying, "Oh, do you want to see her breast?" And he was like, "No," and I was laughing, and I said, "Oh, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that I wouldn't, traumatize and show those to anyone anyways." And we laughed about it, and that was the end of it. And she
Right.
called and lied to the police and said that I showed her tatas. That was 100% a lie.
And you know what the cops said? The cops said, did you send your nudes to somebody? And she said, yes. And the cops said, once you send it out, it's out
Yep.
there. And there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot take any legal recourse to that at all because you took pictures of yourself and you sent them to somebody and it's gonna get out. So you took that upon yourself. There's no
Well,
what is it called? Revenge porn. He's like,
right.
no, that's not a thing. You sent your own
Well,
pictures out there.
and remember, she was claiming they weren't her boobies. That she was claiming
Yes,
they were
for the
some
longest
other
time she tried to say.
Victoria girl,
Yep,
another fake person.
Right.
yep.
Yeah,
I think it was a
birds.
listener or something like that, wasn't it?
But
Or
we're the liars. We're the ones that make up stuff.
it was
Again,
that hairy
Sharon, make
nipple.
a post on your community wall of what sock account I was. I gotta call the police and report that as a criminal offense. Because
I
you
don't
know the law,
think you've
Sharon.
been
So,
listening. Jerome, I don't think you've been listening at all to anything that's going on. If you don't know why it
so
didn't work out, you ain't listening.
who I'm not?
What did that say?
JT, why did it work out with you and Sharon?
Because you were
Oh,
dating her. You were there to
Exa-
help her.
he
yeah,
fucking fucked her.
Well, he did fucking chuck her, but he wasn't there to date her.
yeah, for
No.
sure.
And then, oh my God, we had to hear she kept his body
Oh,
watch for like a whole
Jesus.
year and a half.
Fuck.
We had to hear about that every day for
I
over a
bought it at a
year.
truck stop.
She made him come back. He left, and she called him because he grabbed all of his shit and he threw it in the truck, and then he took off. And she didn't know he was gone, and she came downstairs and he had left. So she called him up and she was like, "Did you leave?" And he goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, why didn't you come back? Alice is crying because you left and you didn't say goodbye," which she was lying because these kids didn't know him from Dick. So he felt bad. So he turned around and came back.
Yeah.
And the kid was fine. And so then he dipped and he never
Yeah.
went back.
Hell no. Well, she was getting downright scary at that point. That's why I grabbed all my shit and left. Because it was getting, like I said, it was getting the
Because you
stress
were on
and
the phone with me.
the erratic behavior was getting worse and worse and worse. It wasn't getting better. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even sleep. Like, I had driven like so many hours and everything else, and then I had stayed awake, and then I'm dealing with this crazy bitch, and I couldn't sleep because I was scared.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I was dealing with. That's what I, as an adult man, was dealing with. So, if you could imagine what these children dealt with their whole lives, you know what I'm saying? So, that's how bad it was.
Well, and then
Yeah.
she was triggered as fuck because you were on the phone with me for so long. We heard, her
Yeah.
backstory.
She kept watching him through her kitchen window because JT was outside smoking, talking to Susie. And she was pissed. And she just sat at her kitchen window staring at him the whole time on the phone with Percy
The whole
because he wasn't
time.
in the house talking with her. And he was supposed to stay the whole weekend, but he dipped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't take it. There's no way. I would be, I don't know. I would end up, I just couldn't sleep.
Because you were in the seventh ring of hell, JT. That's why he took them to dinner, bought her groceries, and then bought
Yeah.
the kids McDonald's, and then he dipped and went home.
Yeah.
I
So
wouldn't be able
they
to
got
sleep
food. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
if every time I opened my eyes, I had Sharon staring at me.
Yeah, it was
That's
terrible.
all. JT, I need you to make a video of that email. It's comedy gold and should get the shine. What email?
I don't remember. I sent an email and I don't know. She said, send me an email of something or another. And I sent like whatever email to her. I think it was for a court case or something. It might have been your court case. She's looking for witnesses. So I put, Sharon is a crazy hoe or something like that. I put all kinds of bullshit. All kinds of bullshit.
That's what I should do one day is read the statements that I had for court for her. She'd cry. She would cry.
How come Sarah never testified? What was up with that?
Because the judge was so over it, Christina.
Okay.
Like I said, that's why I wasn't allowed a continuance. But she could tell that the judge was just that over it. So,
So your witnesses got to testify, but Sarah was out in the hallway and she couldn't come in to testify.
Right. And
Okay,
but
got
the
it.
judge or the lawyer asked about the kids coming in instead of Sarah. And then, of course, after court's over, Sharon's lying, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get the court record, And right away Sharon's like, there is no court record, there's no court record. I'm like, dude, there's always a court record in court. Like, what the hell is she talking about? No, Sarah called, there is no court record. And knowing Sarah, I'm sure she immediately did call because she wanted to know what the hell happened. Because she traveled all that way and was stuck in the, hallway the whole time. But I was like, dude, there has to be a court record. Well, we called the courthouse and they were like, yeah, no, there wasn't a court reporter. If you wanted a court reporter, you would have had to pay for one. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't even know how that's legal. I've never heard of that in my life. Now I have heard about it since. But I couldn't believe it. But yeah, Sharon, that was the luckiest thing that ever happened to her, that there wasn't a court reporter. Because, oh my God, it would have been amazing had there been a court reporter.
Oh, I would have loved it.
Oh, I know. I would have had
Oh, I would have
somebody
loved
play
it.
Sharon. I would have had somebody play her lawyer. I would have played myself.
And she never did pay that lawyer, you guys. She still owed that lawyer hella money.
Of
She
course.
never, yeah, that lawyer, and the first one too. She never paid the first one in full either.
Oh God, the first guy she had, he was an idiot. But when she got that female lawyer, I was like, oh fuck, dude. This, because I had phone conversations with her,
Yeah.
and I could tell she was a
Yeah.
good lawyer. And I was like, oh man, fuck me. But I really thought, and I was debating hiring a lawyer for that case. I had spoke to a few down there in Kingsport, and it was anywhere from like $500 to $1,000 to send a lawyer to it. But I was like, I kept being on the fence about it and going back and forth. And I'm like, I would literally have to spend a day on the phone with a lawyer to explain everything that's gone on with this bitch. No one is going to be able to defend me better than myself because of how insane things have been for the last, whatever amount of years it had been at that point. So I was like, and the last lawyer I talked to had said, if you still want to think about it, just go in there tomorrow morning. They, have to grant you at least one continuance. Just tell them you need a continuance, and then you'll have another month to think about it and figure it out. So like I said, I had nothing prepared. And then, her lawyer objected to it because Sarah had traveled
Here's the
so
email.
far.
If you want to watch it, hold on. Here's the email.
Sharon Hensley. There's her little Gmail thing she has up. To whom it may concern, my name is Jonathan Tuttle, and this is my statement as it pertains to Sharon Hensley. I went to visit Sharon one fateful day, and she forced my peen inside her butthole, and it felt like she was raping me. She then proceeded to ride my peen like Seabiscuit until just about the time I was going to climax. She slid off my peen so fast the condom burned permanently to her butthole, forced the condom off my peen. She then forced me to climax onto her eyebrow because that's how she likes it. I tried to fight her off by donkey punching her in the back of the head multiple times, but this only seemed to encourage her. The statement is 100% true and accurate, and I swore it on a stack of Bibles in front of no less than 10 priests. Thank you for your time. Signed, Jonathan Tuttle, Troll of the Century.
You're fucking insane, man.
See this? I'm dying.
That's fucking hilarious.
And then I
I've
sent
never
it.
heard that.
And then I
I
sent
didn't
it.
even know about that. That's hilarious. How did I miss that?
And then I sent it off. It shows me
Who did you
sending
send it to?
it. Her. I sent it to
Did she
her.
reply?
Oh my God!
No, she didn't
Jesus
reply.
Christ!
It showed me sending it. I hit send on there.
Oh my God. I'm dying over here.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm dry heaving over here, dude. Get after like me.
I'll play it again. Hold on.
Sharon Hensley. There's her little Gmail thing she has up.
Yeah,
To whom it may concern, my
she was looking for witnesses for something, so I witnessed for her. That was my witness statement. Oh,
name is Jonathan Tuttle, and this is my statement as it pertains to Sharon Hensley. I went to visit Sharon one fateful day, and she forced my peen inside her butthole, and it felt like she was raping me. She then proceeded to ride my peen like Seabiscuit until just about the time I was going to climax. She slid off my peen so fast the condom burned permanently to her butthole, forced the condom off my peen. She then forced me to climax onto her eyebrow because that's how she likes it. I tried to fight her off by donkey punching her in the back of the head multiple times, but this only seemed to encourage her. This statement is 100% true and accurate, and I swore it on a stack of Bibles in front of no less than 10 priests. Thank you for your time. Signed, Jonathan Tuttle, Troll of the Century.
That's
Is that
hilarious.
about right, guys?
Yeah. All right.
Dude, you're so stupid. You are so stupid.
And then I
That is
sent it
so
to her. You
funny.
see me sending it. I
Jesus
did it fucking
Christ.
live.
Oh
I
my
sent it to her. I sent it to her live in front of everybody. I was like,
Oh
fuck
my
it.
God.
Here's your fucking statement.
That is so funny.
I have more breaking news. Sharon has more intel. Everybody gives Sharon the intel. You know, she has so many supporters, guys. She gets all the intel, like
Yeah.
that I have Slack accounts. She said, I received intel from a close supporter from way back. I know the other reason why Cow Lady is rescheduling the live for tomorrow. I already know what's up, lol. You weirdos are getting my daughter's dads mixed up and making a claim that I said my youngest kid's dad SA'd me. Wow, the stupidity of some people. No, nobody ever said that, Sharon. We all said it was the oldest daughters, that you were 22 and he was 15. So, again, but anyways, so I already know. I know the game. I know the players. You can scream all you want that I'm a child molester. Not true. It's rumors and opinions. Yeah, have fun with that, lol. And let's just riddle me this. Let's pretend that someone did say that and they had the fathers wrong. Why would that delay a stream? And again, nobody has said that, Sharon. So I don't know where you're getting this intel from. Again, the voices in your head isn't intel. You really need to go check in somewhere and get some help. And I'm not saying that to be mean by any means. I'm saying that from another human to another human. Like, you don't have any kids to take care of right now. Go check yourself in and take some time and at least 6 months and get your head straight and get treated for your mental illnesses because you're absolutely insane. Every post you make just has more craziness in it and more lies and more made up stuff. Again, you just made this post. Make a post of what sock account I was in Eli's chat today. Just put the name of the account. It shouldn't be hard. You said it's me. You saw it. Put the name of the channel that is my sock account that I was in Eli's chat. And again, we all know that it's the oldest kid's father that you, had sexual intercourse with when you were 22, 21, and the father was only 15. You sick bitch.
Hold on. If you're gonna call her names, let me do it. Hold
You
on.
dumb, fat, marshmallow-looking motherfucker.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I said to Lord.
You dumb, fat, marshmallow-looking motherfucker.
Somebody has a
They got
sock
me.
account,
I think I
and
meant
it's the
to.
picture. Oh, go ahead, JT. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think I meant to say you marshmallow eating motherfucker. Marshmallow looking motherfucker. Oh Lord, I said it wrong.
There's a picture, a sock account going around, and it's when she's sitting on like a sidewalk with Damien, and they're sitting side by side, and she's got her hand like touching his shoulder or something. And they're talking, and their backs are together. Her back is bigger than Damien's, and he's a man.
Let's
He's
see.
huge. She's huge, and you're saying she's bigger now?
There
That's
it
what
is.
I heard.
Yeah, that one right there. There. Yeah, see? Look at the stomach. Or look, pull back up a little bit. Pull back. Remember, a little bit more. A little bit more. Look at her step right there. Boom. Look at that stomach right there. It's like over her. It's over her. She's got one of those pussy pouches. Like it's coming up over her pants. See it right there? Under where her elbow is, right there.
Yep.
Yep, right there. See it? Her
Mm.
back's bigger than Damien's.
What kind of problem with this motherfucker? Hold on.
But I'm 300 pounds. That's what Eli keeps saying, that I'm unhealthy and I weigh 300 pounds. Yeah, Eli, I weigh 300 pounds. Okay, run with that. That's fine. I'm sorry that you're like 5'6", but I'm like 6 foot and I barely weigh like 150, 160. And I lost weight when I went back to work. So suck it. I don't weigh 300 pounds. I know you wish I did, but I don't. I didn't even weigh 300 pounds when I was pregnant. Jesus.
Yeah. She see right there. She looks like a dumb fat marshmallow looking motherfucker.
Look at that ass. Look
Yeah.
at that ass.
Even with the weight I've gained, I'm not that big from behind now that I'm seeing this picture again.
Yeah, that's
Like I
big.
said, from what I've been told, she's way bigger than that now.
Well, because now she's got more food because she doesn't need to feed the baby. The baby's gone. So now she's got more food to eat.
Yeah. Like,
Well, do you guys want to end this? It's been going on. We're going on 3.5 hours.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
what's JT doing?
God,
What do you got going on here? What's this?
Oh, I don't know. I'm on community walls looking for more of that picture.
Oh,
I
okay,
had
got it.
her humpback. Let's see. Oh, look at that ass. She just fat as fuck there.
she'll be on a rage post, making up more lies, more intel that she's
Yeah.
supposedly again, Sharon, you said yourself that you didn't receive any sympathy or nobody cared about your health issues and yada yada. You don't have anybody that supports you, Sharon. No one's sending you intel. And if they are, it's just to fuck with your dumb ass. Because you believe everything.
Mm-hmm.
Patty says he is really big, and Eli sits there weight shaming everyone. I know. That's, you know what? He honestly thinks, he says that Jamie weighs 300 pounds. Jamie goes live. You see him in his face. That boy don't weigh no 300 pounds. 300
Mm-hmm.
pounds is a lot of weight. That kid is not 300 pounds, but that's what he says. Jamie's going to die soon, and he's pre-diabetic. And to Eli, then Eli uses having health insurance now as a flex. So he likes to flex that he has health insurance, which everybody does. I've already said this before, but so he's helping Sharon get Tennessee poor people health insurance because she's poor. So she got to get cheap, nasty health insurance. So once she gets that health insurance, you got to get some mental help. And it don't pay good. Mental health insurance does not pay all that well. So you're going to be paying a lot out of the pocket.
I don't think it would take
Well,
much to get to 300 pounds, especially for a man. I don't know.
Jamie does not weigh 300 pounds.
I
He's
weigh
such a piece of
230.
shit.
I'm
He said,
230.
yeah, but you know what? How
well,
tall are you, JT? You're over 6 foot. I know that.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, I'm just saying that it wouldn't be that much for a guy to get over 300 pounds. I think that would be,
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
And
Patty said GLM told Eli she saw Jamie at Walmart in a scooter and he was 300 pounds. Yeah, and Eli's been running with it ever since. Yeah, he has. Because he thinks
Uh,
he's being funny.
how
Hey,
would
Eli,
GLM
you
have
have
ever seen?
boobs. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Eli, you have boobs. You have big boobs. Dude, you're fat. I'm sorry, but you eat out way too much, and it's showing. And you know what? When you're out there
Oh,
huffing and puffing, I hear him huffing and puffing when he's out on his walks. And when Dawn's out there, she's like a speed demon, like she's ready to just go. And he has to tell her to like slow it down because he can't walk that fast, and that his selfie stick and his phone weighs over 10 pounds, and it's hard for him to carry it and walk.
that was another thing the other day. He had to like rush off a stream. I don't know if it was last night's or the day before. I can't remember. And he's like, okay, I gotta go. It's 7:25. I gotta order food so it's ready by 8 before the restaurant closes. And Dawn was in the chat, and I'm like, what? Dawn can't even order the food?
No
Like,
shit.
Honey,
you
Dawn doesn't
know?
do a goddamn thing. She doesn't do a thing. He cleans that house. Her dogs shit and piss all over the basement because that's where they live. He has to clean the floors constantly because her dogs, they don't let their dogs outside to go to the bathroom, and they shit and piss all over the house. He gets the food. He buys all of her pots. He does everything. No, she doesn't cook. They eat out every single night. He's getting fast food from someplace,
Never
and it's
mind
starting to show.
cooking, just order the fucking food so
No,
he
she
can.
can't do that. No, because he has to
That's
pay for it.
crazy.
She doesn't have any money
Damn.
because she don't work. They both don't work. So
Well, here's another one. One of JT's crates, I guess.
You know what I mean? Go on the fuck off train. Like this is the JT. He says fuck off train, and fucking put Will in the fucking conductor's seat and have him go toot toot, and y'all fucking roll down the tracks, motherfucker.
Yeah, roll out the track, motherfucker.
where's that picture? Wait, get that screen off. It's got Eli's picture on it. Get it off. He'll strike you. He'll strike you.
I don't give a shit. That motherfucker strikes me for that. He's an idiot.
That's the picture. That's the picture he's striking folks on. It's that one right there.
I don't care.
Or if you show or if you show that star. He's like copyrighted that star too. So he'll cut you down for that too.
Let him
Wouldn't
try.
the
I would totally take
person
that one to court.
wouldn't the person that took that picture own the copyright to it?
What was that? What?
Wouldn't the person that took that photo own the copyright to it? Like
I
my
don't know.
wedding
Oh,
photos?
I don't. You know what? You're right. I don't know. Or maybe he took it himself. I don't know. Maybe he took it with the camera. And I don't know. But you know what? You do have a point. It's the person who took the picture that owns it, not him. Wow.
Right.
Good one, dude. Good one. We'll have to.
Oh no.
Somebody email Jamie with that one. That's actually a good one, Susie, because that's the one that he put a copyright on, or just his image in general. But I didn't think you could do that. I mean, celebrities don't even do that.
That's what I was gonna say too. Could you imagine if every celebrity fucking went after people who fucking made
Right?
memes of them?
Yeah,
Or whatever
exactly.
else. There's some sort of animal in my garage and it's freaking me out.
Dude, remember when you had a mouse in there? Was it a mouse that was in your garage?
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
cute though. But then there was kittens in my garage the other day. Now
Oh,
this sounds like a bird's wing is flapping. But I walked over to where the sound is coming from and I didn't see anything.
He
where's
literally
Dylan at? Is he at work?
That's fucking.
No, he's upstairs.
Tell him to come down and snoop around in there.
I will. I
He
will.
ain't
I
gonna
will. I
win.
will.
That's the thing is Eli won't win that copyright strike thing. He won't win that shit. There's no way.
No, he won't. And he's put some money into this. He's
Yeah.
had to pay that process server. He's had to pay to file these court cases.
Well,
He's
he
had to
should've saved his money.
pay.
He should have just saved his money.
I
'Cause
know
it didn't go
exactly.
there.
This okay, and he actually said this. Okay, so now like he made this GNA like legal because this whole time it wasn't like a real business because he didn't have like certain licenses. So every year he has to pay $800 in taxes to the state of California to maintain this business in California. You guys, that makes no money. This man
Well,
pays eight
he's
hundred
only
dollars
lost
for
money.
this website or this channel on YouTube that makes no money. Who does that?
He's done nothing but lose money, so I don't understand.
Thank
There's
you.
not a business
Yes.
that only loses money. I mean, that's
Yes.
ridiculous.
That's what he
He's
does.
paid out
Yeah.
far more money than he's ever made.
Yes, he has. Yes, JT, he has. To get the licensing or the LLC or these copyrights that he's got, he's paid out a grip of money just to turn around and sue Jamie. That's the only
Right.
reason he did this was to sue Jamie. Oh, and Tammy, because Tammy went after him because he kept saying these were legit. This was a legit business, but he didn't really have any licenses. So
Mm.
that's when she went after him, and he settled out of court with her for like $1,000, and she won that court case too. So every time he
And
tries to
she
take
got
Tammy to court, she
$1,000 out of
wins. Yeah, she did. He had to pay her $1,000.
it.
Yes, he did.
Oh my god, that's fucking
Yeah.
great.
Isn't that hilarious, dude? Yeah.
Mm.
And he had to be put on a payment plan. He said he could only give her $250 a month. Oh wait, he took her channel down. He struck her channel because he said that she was like she was faking that she was a GNA, but he was because it was his business and he had like licenses or whatever. And
Mhm.
then he struck her channel down, but it wasn't true. And so she took him to court, and he said that he would get YouTube to give her back her channel, but she had a bunch of donations that she was about to donate to, I think, domestic violence or something with kids. But she had done a fundraiser, and so she lost all that money. And so that's when her and Eli worked something out. And Eli said, she said, pay me $1,000 for the money that I lost from that channel and give me
Mm.
my channel back. And so that's what they settled on. And then he never got her channel back. He lied and said that he was in touch with YouTube, but YouTube just wouldn't reinstate her channel. And all he would have to done is like take away one of the strikes. And she would have
Right,
got her channel back, but he didn't do it because he lied.
because he's a
But
pussy.
exactly, but she sure did get 1,000 of his money, $1,000 of his money.
Right. It's a well, I'm fixing to pass out, ladies. I don't know
Yeah,
about
me too. I am too. I'm done. I'm spent. I'm pushing my time clock.
hell yeah. Susie?
Susie's already passed out.
Oh, she
Yeah, I do have to go, guys. I have to
all
find
right.
this animal and call my
Is there
husband.
really is there really an animal in there?
Yeah, there's something. Jordan's out here. She's hearing it. It
Okay, all right.
sounds like a wing. So, but thank you, everybody.
Yes,
And thanks
thank you,
for having me on,
everybody.
JP.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
And
thank you,
I'll
GT, so much.
see you guys tomorrow over
I'll,
on
Everybody have a
Tina
good
and
night.
Christina's
I'll close
stream.
it
Thank
out with
you.
that email
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
Stupid. Okay, good night, everybody.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Sharon Hensley. There's her little Gmail thing she has up. To whom it may concern, my name is Jonathan Tuttle, and this is my statement as it pertains to Sharon Hensley. I went to visit Sharon one fateful day, and she forced my peen inside her butthole, and it felt like she was raping me. She then proceeded to ride my peen like Seabiscuit until just about the time I was going to climax. She slid off my peen so fast the condom burned permanently to her butthole, forced the condom off my peen. She then forced me to climax onto her eyebrow because that's how she likes it. I tried to fight her off by donkey punching her in the back of the head multiple times, but this only seemed to encourage her. This statement is 100% true and accurate, and I swore it on a stack of Bibles in front of no less than 10 priests. Thank you for your time. Signed, Johnson Tuttle, Troll of the Century. That sound about right, guys?